has always been a history between the Phillies and their Hollywood-styled foes from the West. The last two postseasons have jumped up the rivalry to another level. 2008 was nothing short of dramatic while the East Coast representatives climbed the stairs to a World Series, leaving their LA friends a few steps behind. A cross-country rematch in 2009 looked like much the same. The theater of postseason was magical again, and the Phillies rolled to a second straight National League pennant, putting the West to rest. Nothing like an old foe coming to town this late in the year to get things rolling during the dog days of August. It's the first meeting of the season between the Dodgers and the Phillies. Game one of a three-game series. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Gary Matthews will be along in just a little bit. Well, there's no doubt the last couple of years, and even the years before that, the postseason log for the Phillies included some impressive and depressing games against the Dodgers.
Caught up to him a little bit the last couple of years, yeah, because trust me, those games back in the 70s were horrendous. And Davey Lopes is still out. I mean, you could see it in that little montage you guys did there in the opening. And it has been unbelievable how great it's been, Tom. I mean, you look back in 2008 on that gorgeous night at Dodger Stadium with a full moon in the month of October, and Matt Stairs goes down in Phillies history forevermore with his bomb way up into the seats. And that didn't win it, but it certainly set it up so that they could win it the following night. And there was a pop-up right there, foul territory, and Carlos Ruiz squeezed it. Brad Lidge's perfect season continued, and it would go even further into the World Series. Now, how about last year? This game is over. And right in the middle of the plate, maybe a little bit middle in, and Jimmy Rollins hits that ball out to the Turkey Hill ice cream sign out there. The only place really could have done it to score Carlos Ruiz all the way from first. 2 runs scored, and they beat Broxton in that game, which was improbable. And the next night, they beat Vicente Padilla. So you see, in 2008, 2009, Phillies 4, Dodgers 1 in the games. The MVPs, Cole Hamels and Ryan Howard. The all-time postseason, 13-9. And like I said, they had some catching up to do, but they have in the last few years.
8 wins the last 2 years for the Phillies in the postseason against the Dodgers. Now it's a regular season matchup, and it's the first one of the year, and it goes tonight here at Citizens Bank Park. It'll be Kyle Kendrick on the mound for the Phillies. He'll be opposed by Dodger right-hander Vicente Padilla. And speaking of these two hurlers, Padilla has been one of the best pitchers since the All-Star break. Kendrick, meanwhile, he's been pretty consistent. The starting lineups and first pitch coming up next. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. There are many reasons to buy a Toyota. broadcast. Leading it off in center field, Scott Podsednik. Ryan Theriot, the second baseman, bats second. Andre Ethier's in right. He'll hit third, followed by James Loney, the first baseman. Casey Blake, the third baseman, bats fifth. Jay Gibbons, just back up from the minor leagues, is in left field batting sixth. And the bottom third of Jamie Carroll, Brad Ausmus, and former Philly Vicente Padilla.
You said the Phillies haven't played the Dodgers. Who are those guys?
That's exactly right.
When you think about postseason last year, Kyle Kendrick will face that lineup tonight. They have quite a few left-handed hitters in there, and that's what they're trying to do, of course, against Kyle. He's pitched well lately. He's done a really good job of holding his spot, either as the fourth or fifth starter, now that the Phillies have a really strong 1-2-3. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report on him, and mentioned in there, try and contain those left-handed hitters. When he does, he usually has a better chance of winning. Lifetime against the Dodgers, they've hit him around pretty good. And, if he can get his sinker in a good spot, get ahead of hitters, use his other pitches, he has a chance to compete. Now, it's hot here tonight, as everybody knows. The ball was just flying out of this place in batting practice. So you really want to keep it down tonight.
All right, as he gets set to throw his first pitch of the night, let's take a look at the Nissan keys to the game, Wheels.
All right, here they are. Well, it is a strange year for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and it'd take a whole series to describe all the things that have gone on with these guys. But one thing you know when you face Los Angeles, and in this series, they will face three real good starters, and sometimes they can make a team look a lot better.
It's the end of the model year, and Nissan's laying it all on the line. Nissan's bottom line sales event going on now. Well, here we go. Scott Podsednik will lead it off for the Dodgers. Podsednik 6 for 29 in the most recent homestand for L.A. He did not begin the year with the Dodgers, but Kendrick begins the game with a strike of the knees. Podsednik began the season with the Kansas City Royals.
He can still run. Talking to their people down there, they say one thing about him is he can play the outfield and run. So if they're going to let him play, they're just not happy with Kemp. He has just not played very well this year, so he's not playing tonight.
Which is odd because he has good numbers against Kendrick, too.
Yeah.
1-1 the count to Podsednik. Podsednik slaps it toward left center. Worth on the run. He's not going to get there. Drops it for a base hit. And it's a leadoff single for the first left-handed batter of the night against Kyle Kendrick.
Now, the guy coming up right now is Ryan Theriot. We just saw a lot of him in that 4-game series with the Cubs. And, he's a good player. He can move the ball. He can hit it the other way. He can do a lot of things for them. And, they like him. He's going to be a good player, I think, for the Dodgers and fit in.
Well, he was acquired along with Ted Lilly on the 31st of July in exchange for Blake DeWitt and 2 minor leaguers. Theriot played 74 games at second base for the Cubs. Also played 29 games at shortstop. And Podsednik goes. The pitch is bounced towards shortstop. Handled from the knees by Jimmy Rollins. And how about him recording at least 1 out on that play?
It's amazing because they were either playing hit and run or straight steal. Not sure which it was. And Jimmy had broken towards second base. Because Theriot hits the ball the other way so much, I think they were covering with Rollins. Not quite sure whether or not Valdez was headed over there also, but it looked like they were covering with Jimmy, and he somehow put the brakes on and went back and makes a play from his knees. There he goes.
I don't think Valdez left until the ball was hit.
They were both kind of headed over there, so it's hard to tell. But a lot of times, even though Terrio's a right-handed hitter, you'll cover with the second base, with a shortstop there, because he hits the ball the other way a lot, especially if it's a fastball that was called.
Well, here's Andre Ethier, who was a starter in the All-Star game this year for the National League. Let's take another look at that play. Yeah, it was Jimmy that was going to cover.
Yep, it was his cover, and Valdez then comes over, late. But Jimmy was covering, and they had the perfect thing going right there with him covering and Theriot trying to hit the ball to the left side. They just didn't get it through because Rollins made such a good play.
On the outside quarter, 1 ball and 1 strike to Ethier.
Because they think right now they should have a first and third, nobody out.
Ethier, for a good portion of this year, was among the leaders in the National League in hitting, but his average has dipped down to 296. Now, he did have a good homestand for Los Angeles, and he's been pretty consistent for them this year, and they haven't had a lot of consistency. They are without Russell Martin, their normal catcher. He's out for the year, possibly, with a hip injury. They're without Manny Ramirez, who they do expect back soon, but they're not sure when. Joe Torre was saying today that Manny Ramirez could be utilized in a rehab assignment sometime in the next few days. And Rafael Furcal has been battling a bad back as that liner goes into right center field. That's a base hit. Pasetnik being waved late by Larry Boa, and he's going to score. It's an RBI single for Ethier, and the Dodgers strike first. They lead it 1-0.
Well, Ethier had Pasetnik had to freeze a little bit because of that line drive was hit so close to Valdez, but then it was out in an area where Jason Worth was so deep, and Larry Boa had an easy shot at scoring. Let me put it that way. It wasn't a real tough choice. Tried to sink one down and away, and Ethier is a good hitter. You see how far Jason has to come for that, and Bo has no problem scoring a good runner like Pasetnik in that play.
So 1-0 Los Angeles. Ethier picks up his 64th RBI of the year.
There he is. Back in town, still lives here.
They'll bring James Loney to the plate. Loney's 6 for 10 against Kendrick in his career.
Left-handed hitters, Tommy.
Yep.
And that is always going to be the problem for Kendrick, or he's going to get past it. And if he can, he'll be more successful. If he doesn't, he struggles.
Loney's 68 RBIs leads the Dodgers this year. It's 4 ahead of the guy on first, Andre Ethier. Swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I bet you that Kendrick has been pretty consistent for the Phillies. He has. His last time out, he allowed 2 earned runs. As you see, Loney splits. 226 against lefties, 313 against righties. But Kyle, over his last 6 outings, has allowed 1 earned run or less in 4 of those 6 outings. That's pretty good. In the air to right center field. Way up there. Worth into the alleyway with Dominic Brown, and Jason makes the call. And he puts it away for the second out.
I just got in on him a little bit because Loney had a home run swing at that, and I mentioned how the ball's flying tonight. It was amazing in BP because it's so hot.
Yeah, Dominic Brown was launching some into the second and even the upper deck.
There you go, right there. He just got it off the end of the bat. See where it hits? I'm not sure. Maybe it was down on the label a little bit. Whatever it was, he didn't square it up, or that ball's way out.
Well, here's Casey Blake, acquired last year by the Dodgers from the Cleveland Indians, and he helped them get to the postseason. And he takes one for a strike, and it's 0-1. Blake with 11 homers and 42 runs batted in. You see what he did against the Phillies in the National League Championship Series, and that was a big deal. But the Phillies kept some of the Dodger bats quiet during the NLCS. On the outside corner, 0-2.
Well, the best game they had pitched for him was Padilla's first game, and that was game number 2 when he went up against Pedro Martinez, pitch for pitch, and wound up winning that game.
Outside. Casey Blake with his 11 home runs. There's Padilla getting ready to go to work in the bottom of the first. And he's just doing a little shadow pitching.
He marches to his own drummer, that guy.
Oh, it's drumming pretty loud right now. We'll say Casey Blake with his 11 home runs this year. He now has 8 straight years in which he has 10 home runs or more. Now in this day and age, that may not seem like that big of a deal, but it shows that he's out there every single day, and he's been a pretty productive hitter.
He's a good player, too. He's a good third baseman. He's a steady, everyday major league player.
On the hands, a pop-up behind home plate. Ruiz off with the mask. Should be an easy play. Makes the grab, and the side is retired. The Dodgers, though, do score a first-inning run on the RBI single by Andre Ethier. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Dodgers 1, and Vicente Padilla getting ready to go to work. Ibanez, who's in left field. Jason Worth, the center fielder, bats fifth. Dominic Brown gets the start in right field. He'll hit sixth. And the bottom third are Carlos Ruiz, Wilson Valdez, and Kyle Kendrick. And they will face former Philly Vicente Padilla, who this past offseason re-signed with the Dodgers after being acquired last year from the Texas Rangers.
He's on the DL for a while this year, and since the All-Star break, 1-1 with a 1.04 earned run average in 4 starts, and he has just pitched great. He pitched a shutout his last time out against San Diego, a hot team. There's our scouting report on him. His fastball moves all over the place, still does. He will throw up one of the darndest slow hooks you've ever seen, and we'll see it soon, I'm sure. He can be really good or he can be erratic, and we'll see what he is tonight.
Well, you said since the All-Star break, he's been really good. 3 earned runs in 26 innings since the break. He's got the best ERA in the National League since that time. And he delivers a fastball for strike one to Jimmy Rollins.
Well, he's always had trouble throwing a ball straight, and not that that's trouble. But he has had a tremendous life on his fastball throughout his major league career.
Jimmy takes another fastball at the knees, and it's 0-2. Jimmy's had a good homestand. He's 4 for 11, hitting .364. Overall, 1 for 4 against Padilla in his career. 0-2 the count.
But Padilla doesn't throw anywhere near as hard as he used to. We saw where we maxed out his fastball in the scouting report. But he's smarter now. He has a better idea. He used to just be a thrower. The guy can pitch. He has an idea. You can tell he has an idea how to set up hitters.
And he just misses with that fastball, and it's 2-2. Well, I mentioned how good he's been since the All-Star break. 3 earned runs in his last 26 innings. You can go back to the 30th of June, and his earned run average is 1.13.
He had a little arm problem for a while, and they shut him down. And once he came back, he's been tremendous for them. He's been their best pitcher.
Jimmy's worked the count back even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's that hook, and it's pushed toward third. Blake has it, and he throws him out. And there's one away. Now, that is the curve, but it's not the curve that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's not that one that. Well, you'll know it when you see it. Really slow. Here it is. He throws a curveball there, and that's just a legitimate 70-some mile an hour curveball, and that's where a curveball normally is, in the 70s. The other one he throws defies gravity.
Well, the great Vin Scully, the longtime voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers, said it's like a soap bubble coming to the plates.
A soap bubble.
Here's Polanco, and the first pitch to Polly's taken outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Polanco, over his last 15 games against the Dodgers, is hitting well over 300. He's hitting .328. And that should not come as any surprise, because look at his overall numbers this year. Riding an 8-game hitting streak. And he hits it toward the middle. Terrio's got it. A little jump and a toss, and there are 2 outs.
Terrio, we've seen him play a lot of shortstop for the Chicago Cubs, of course, and there he is playing second base, so you know he's got the arm to play second.
It seems like a good trade for the Dodgers to get he and Ted Lilly. Now, Lilly is in the final year of his contract, but to have Terrio sort of a stabilizing force over at second base in the years to come with Furcal over at shortstop, that's pretty good. So 2 outs. Here's Ross Glode. And Glode takes a fastball for strike 1.
Furcal not playing tonight, but he has been bothered with a sore back, and they hope to get him back in this series. That's what they hope, anyway.
Yeah, they thought he'd be able to play tonight. They decided to give him at least 1 more day, maybe 2 more days. There's the soap bubble. And it's 0-2.
And he got it over. 56. And listen to the crowd buzz. The fans in the stands are pointing at the radar like, honey, that was 56 miles per hour. I could throw one that hard.
A line drive looper over the glove of Carroll into left field. Well, there's the first hit of the night for the Phillies, and it comes off the bat of Ross Glode. Jamie Carroll just couldn't get it. And the Phillies have a base runner here in the bottom of the first, and it's bringing up one of the hottest hitters in the league, in Raul Ibanez.
And that's nothing against Jamie Carroll, who's a dirtball. I mean, he does what he can out there, but that's the kind of play that an athletic guy like Furcal will make a lot of times. Because Furcal's first step is so quick. Padilla comes in, jams him after that slow hook, and then Jamie Carroll just can't get there and not tall enough to jump up and get it.
Ibanez is riding a 16-game hitting streak. He's hitting .407 during the stretch. 4 home runs, 16 runs batted in. And he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Look at his overall numbers. Now, that looks like a good year. Considering where he was at the beginning of the year, the first 6 weeks, he was down at 221.
He's been hot.
And it's taken a whole lot of work and a lot of hits to get that average up into the 270s. He lays off, and it's a good thing. It's outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Ann Cantanilla of Newtown Square, PA. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, then Ann will win $100. Wheels, do you know the Cantanillas?
No.
Okay.
I've been in Newtown Square a long time. It's probably Catania.
Well, it probably is.
I knew some people named Catania out there one time.
I was doing my best.
Whatever.
Over toward first, a foul ball.
Use the Whitey line. Ann, you know who you are.
I would assume that Ann knows who she is.
Yes, exactly. They live in a wonderful community, though, Newtown Square. Beautiful place to grow up.
Any Little League parades coming up or anything?
Newtown Edgemont Little League. That was fun.
Going to be the master ceremonies, the Grand Marshal, the Grand Poobah, anything coming up?
They haven't asked me to do anything, so if they ever ask, I try.
1-2 the count to Ibanez.
Always fun to go out to Bishop Hollow Road and see the old Little League field.
Low to short lead off first. He still draws the throw from Padilla. During the 2010 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Quick pitch, hit hard toward the right side, bobbled by Terrio, but he's got time, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We've played 1. We go to the second. It's the Dodgers 1 and the Phillies nothing. Selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear straight from the official source, thephillies.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Back when the Phillies won the World Championship, you were able to get that hat. Phillies.com. You could probably get that light blue cap on Phillies.com. Here we go, top of the second. Jay Gibbons leads it off. Jay Gibbons, who at one time was a pretty good home run hitter for the Baltimore Orioles and hasn't been in the big league since 2007. He takes a pitch inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, we used to see this guy a lot because the Phillies played the Orioles so many games.
Well, he had great numbers this year in AAA. Was a member of the AAA All-Star team, the Pacific Coast League All-Star team. And the reason he's in the starting lineup tonight instead of, let's say, Matt Kemp, it might be odd to see him after getting 1 start in the lineup against Kendrick. He's left-handed. That's the first thing. And he was scalding hot against right-handed pitching down in the minor leagues. And he hits that one hard. He's got a base hit. He's 2 for 2 this year. Gibbons has hit 121 home runs during his big league career, but he was part of the Mitchell report, which was the report on steroid usage that came out several years ago, and he wrote a letter to every major league team asking, after the Orioles let him go, for a chance to come to spring training to make their club, and he said he would donate his entire salary to the charity of their choice.
Well, as Ned Colletti, their GM, said, he wasn't the only name on that report. So why should he be a guy that doesn't get another chance?
Many others did get another chance and have prospered. So Gibbons is back in the big leagues, and he's 2 for 2.
And plus, Joe Torre's going to put all left-handed hitters he can in a lineup. I mean, they know that that's been a problem for Kendrick.
Jamie Carroll takes a pitch at the knees.
Carroll's like having another Terrio at this point in the order because he can really move the ball around the field and hit and run, hit the ball to right field, do different things. He's a contact guy.
Overall, he's hitting .282 with no homers and 16 RBIs. Lays off, and it's 1-1. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Cardinals have taken a 1-0 lead over the Reds. That game's in the bottom of the first. Albert Pujols, an RBI groundout. And as play begins tonight, the Reds lead the Cardinals by a game. The Phillies sit next to the Cardinals in the race for the wild card. As things are tightening up here in the month of August, the Phillies are a game and a half out of the National League East and a game behind the Giants in the wild card. Charlie Manuel's team has done a very nice job not only getting back in this race, but also getting back within reach in the wild card standings as well. Runner goes, pitch is hit foul.
See, they're playing hit and run with him. 2-1 count, perfect hit and run count, perfect combination with a guy like Jamie Carroll up there. So, Joe Torre is just trying to do something to make this offense of theirs productive, and especially on the road where they've really struggled. So twice tonight they played hit and run.
The Dodgers are 22-30 on the road this year, but 1-9 on the road since the All-Star break. To the count, and that time Gibbons didn't go.
No, because they were running on a hit and run count 2-1. That is a base stealing count 2-2 more than anything. And now this is a very good running count unless you're worried about a line drive double play, because this guy normally does not swing and miss.
Runner goes, pitch is taken low, ball 4, and there are runners on first and second.
And he won't swing at bad balls either.
Hey, after the ball game, former Phil's All-Star closer Ricky Pitalico breaks down all the action from this game and provides expert analysis found nowhere else. Phillies post-game live presented by Sloan Toyota following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. By the way, Wheels, that Cardinals-Reds game, there was a benches clearing brawl.
What? Already?
Yeah, Dusty Baker and Tony La Russa both have been ejected from the game.
Tension right out of the shoe.
A little tension.
To find out what happened. That's interesting.
Well, here's Brad Ausmus. How about the number of games he's caught in his career? And now with Russell Martin on the DL, he's playing a little bit more. And he shows bunt, and he takes the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, the Phillies did not think he's going to bunt there because the pitcher's on deck. and you would have one out at that point. Now Larry Bowa's going to go through the signs again. There's Padilla, not a good hitting pitcher necessarily, and I don't know whether Osmus just did that on his own, trying to get everybody moving around, or whether they were serious about it. We'll see.
Polanco's even with the bag at third. Glode, he's not buying it. He's still back behind the runner at first.
Yeah, Polanco came up a little bit.
It sounds odd, but on a night like this where the Dodgers have a lot of left-handers, you know, Kyle probably has to bear down even more against these right-handed batters. There is such a difference between righties and lefties against him. Righties are hitting just 228 against him. But he's fallen behind 2-1.
Yeah, and you know, you go picking for outs in the lineup, and obviously this guy's won it. You know, not Doobie, Rich Doobie, but Brad Osmus, who is not a guy who has swung the bat real well in his career. He's always been known as a defensive catcher.
Doobie would be an out, though, if he was in a lineup.
Well, I don't want to say that, Tom, because I have to get down there and hear it from him. So we won't put that on me.
On the outside corner, pretty good pitch, and it's 2-2. Osmus thought it was low. And he said something to the home plate umpire, Mike Riley.
And you got to sit down there in front of him all night, too. Catchers usually have a pretty good idea of the strike zone, and he knows that was a sinker, and he does not think it crossed his knees. And it was pretty close.
Mike Riley's the crew chief. Chad Fairchild's over at first. Todd Tishner's at second. Eric Cooper's at third. 2-2. The count to Osmus with nobody out. Chopper toward shortstop. Should be two. There's one. Valdez's toss over to first in plenty of time. 6-4-3 double play. Runner goes to third. And that's huge for Kyle Kendrick.
Yeah, because now you don't have to, you hope you don't have to face Pasetnik. And, that was a point about whether or not they were going to bunt there, because then, you would think you could get Padilla out and maybe they wouldn't get anything, and then they'd have to go to Pasetnik with 2 outs, which is what they're going to do right now. But the Phillies get the optimum of that and getting that double play. And guy doesn't run very well because he runs a little bit like a catcher.
Padilla, big swing and a miss.
Yeah, he always did swing hard. Here's Valdez. I'll see Carroll. If he had touched him here, and they can still call an interference double play, that would have been close. But he was out by so much at first, they didn't even bother with it.
0-2 the count to Padilla.
Padilla used to switch hit, and we never knew what he was going to do when he would come up. Sometimes he'd come up left, sometimes he'd come up right. Nobody knew.
I expected him to go up left-handed because lefties are doing such a better job against Kendrick.
Well, he doesn't know that.
The 0-2. Chopper foul.
I mean, he doesn't. It's not his style.
You don't think Larry told him? Larry Bowa told him?
Well, it's not like he broke his bat. No, he didn't tell him. He just leaves Padilla alone. He says that man's in his own world.
0-2 the count to Padilla. Swing and a miss. He got him. Went after a high fastball. First strikeout for Kendrick, and he strands a runner over at third. Well, it worked out well for Kendrick here in the second. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second, and Jason Worth is due to lead it off. 5, and guess what? There are still seats available, so make your purchase now. You can log on to Phillies.com. And again, get your tickets for tomorrow's ball game and Thursday's game. Tomorrow, it's the first start for Roy Oswalt in a Phillies uniform here at Citizens Bank Park. So a good time to come out, watch the Phils and the Dodgers. In fact, it's a great matchup. Chad Billingsley goes for Los Angeles against Roy Oswalt. On Thursday, it's Clayton Kershaw against Joe Blanton. Now we head to the bottom of the second. Jason Worth is the batter. Jason leads things off. Jason, of course, cut his teeth. I mean, really cut his teeth in the big leagues with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 04, 05, and was part of the team in 06, but never played because of an injury. And he takes a Padilla fastball, and it's 0-1. Jason's kind of turned things around again offensively because of what he's done here at Citizens Bank Park. His last 20 games, he's hitting over 400. One of the good signs the other day was that home run he hit to straightaway center field. And it's 1-2 as that ball got a piece of, I think, Mike Riley. I don't think it got a piece of Brad Ausmus. Now it got Mike Riley right in the shoulder. You could just see where Brad Ausmus was set up and where that ball was going, that there might be some trouble. Back toward the middle. That's going to be into center field, a base hit. Well, Jason's hot hitting here at home continues. He's now 7 for 11 on the homestand.
He fought that one off too. Both their hits tonight are on running fastballs. Good job by Ross Cloak. Good job there by Jason. As that thing was coming in on his hands. Watch him fight this off. Doesn't hit it real hard. Comes hard in on him. Padilla throws both hands out there, and thankfully for him, he lets it go there. You see him hit it down there near the label. And it's a strong man that could shoot a ball like that through the middle hard enough to get a hit.
Now Dominic Brown, who's hitting .226 here in the big leagues, still looking for his first major league homer. Has 6 RBIs. Charlie was talking about Dominic Brown a lot today prior to the ball game about getting him into the rotation in the outfield. He said this is a good fit because of Padilla's fastball and the fact he's a right-hander.
Yep, and Billingsley too. Now Thursday, that's another story. That guy on Thursday's tough on left-handed hit. Although Adam Dunn got Kershaw for 2 3-run homers the other day.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And they were deep too.
Worthich is off first. And the pitch to Brown. Breaking ball in the dirt. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Why does he do that?
I don't know. It's been effective, but there are times, as we saw when he was with the Phillies, where it's not such an effective pitch.
Listen to the crowd.
Look at the smiles on their face.
Yeah, did I just see that? Whoop! I was at a Legion game the other night, and some guy tried that. Threw it harder too.
It comes back with a little cheese after that.
Well, it can make you late.
Well, I guess that's the objective, is to freeze the hitter on a first pitch, but then also later on make him late with that fastball. We've seen it work with other pitchers. I mean, it's worked with the Hernandez brothers, Orlando and Levon.
Well, last time out, he threw 6 of them on the first pitch and got strikes with it. Because there's no way the hitter's going to swing at it. Just startles him.
Fastball, and it's 1-2. Those are 2 good pitches for Dominic Brown, and he wasn't able to catch up to him.
Well, we mentioned Padilla. Padilla used to throw 95, 96. He's going to top out 92, 93 now. And a lot of his fastballs are less than that. He's had arm problems. He's older, obviously. But I think he has a better idea how to move the ball around and get outs now. He's trying to overpower everybody the way he used to.
Inside and high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I threw that one 94, and that was a 4-seamer. You know, he did that on purpose. He tried to get Dominic Brown to chase.
Padilla, when he pitched for the Phillies, won 14 games in 02, 03, then won 7 games in 04, and then 9 in 05 before he moved on to Texas.
He used to come out of games some nights, and when he threw really hard, he would throw 87, 88, 89. I remember one night in Montreal, the first inning ball, he went out there, he really jumped, you know, and we asked him later what did he say to him. He said, I told him, if you don't want to pitch tonight, go take a shower. And then he turned it up.
Well, Venable just watched that one go by. Here's Adrian Gonzalez. Tried to time it. Gonzalez again. He took it that time.
For a major league hitter in time to pitch.
You see the career for Padilla. Again, his career began with Arizona. They thought he was going to be a closer. Opposite way for Brown. Slicing foul. He's got him timed a little better now. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Padilla's won at least 14 games in a season, 4 different times, twice with the Rangers and twice with the Phillies. Breaking ball rolled fair. They say Loney steps on the bag and throws to second, and they tag out Worth. Whoa. I didn't think that ball was fair. A 3-6 double play and a really impressive one.
Yeah, and a great job by Carroll to see that he stepped on the bag and put the tag down too. Loney is a tremendous first baseman. You know, he can play first base with anybody. And look what he does here. He gets jammed, does Brown, and that ball goes over the bag.
It's a fair ball
in the bag when he catches it. And now it's a tag play, and they get the double play.
That's a really good call by Chad Fairchild, the first base umpire. It's not an easy call all the time because the body and the foot of Loney could have been shielding him, but he made the call right away. 1-1 the count. And we bring that up because obviously the third base line or the first base line are difficult, as we've seen, to judge whether a ball is fair or foul over the last couple weeks.
Well, that was just a really good example of how the ball just has to touch part of the bag.
Ruiz sends one in the air to left center field. It's pretty deep and it's playable. Pasetnik back into the alleyway, puts it away for the final out. That one just down toward the handle for Carlos Ruiz. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We go to the third in a 1-0 game. question is, name the 2 Brooklyn Dodgers and 2 Los Angeles Dodgers pitchers to throw no-hitters against the Phillies.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. You said I'd get a couple.
I thought you'd get 2, yeah. You might get a third.
Really?
The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Well, here's the thing. You might get 2. You might get a third. You're not going to get any hints from me.
Okay.
Because it's an era that I am not that familiar with.
Yeah, well, I know who the 2 Los Angeles Dodgers are that did it.
That's impressive, because I thought you could get one of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Well, I think I know one of them, too.
There's Pasednik, who singled and scored in the first.
4 is a little tough.
4 is a lot. Well, you had the off day yesterday as you celebrated your birthday. So we figured you were coming back invigorated.
You know, thank you. You know, the one of the no-hitters pitched by one of those guys, the man who made the last out in that no-hitter is here tonight and was in our office.
Okay. Well, you can't ask him for help, though.
No, but I remember when he made the last out.
Pasednik tries to bunt and bunts it foul.
And there was never a doubt that look, everybody knows who one of them is. It's Sandy Koufax. And
how do you know?
I know it.
Okay.
And Wino made the last out. And it's a great story because he fouls a ball off. It's 0-1. He tells his story. He fouls a ball off. And he nails Chris Pellicudis, the home plate umpire. I mean, he drills him. So now it's 0-2. And Pellicudis is down. And, you know, Koufax pitching a no-hitter. And he went to... Pellicudis is staggering around trying to get up. Saying, I'm sorry, I'll try. And Wino said, stay down. Take your time. He knew it was a matter of time. Next pitch, no hitter, Sandy Koufax.
Well, I didn't think you could ice Sandy Koufax. That's the thing. I mean, I would think that he's a very difficult guy to ice.
Well, Wino tells that story great how he's going to Chris Pellicudis was a really nice man. Like, take your time. Just stay down as long as you need.
Wino is a very considerate man.
Right, very considerate. He also knew that he had no shot to hit Koufax.
Pasednik loops one towards center. Nice sliding grab by Jason Worth. Ball hung up there well for him. 1 away.
That's a nice play. Yeah, I didn't mean to give away one of the names tonight, but I think everybody could figure that Koufax had a chance to be the answer.
Well, I was glad that you did, because the this guy or that guy story, you know.
There's a line drive and a nice play there by Jason. He got a tremendous jump on that ball. It's a really good play. Been doing a great job in center field. Wino making the last out of a Koufax no-hitter. That's perfect. Bobby here scouting for Atlanta, and of course comes up to pass a visit.
At the knees, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Theriot. Theriot grounded to shortstop his first time up on a fine play by Jimmy Rollins. 1-0 Dodgers. They scored a run in the first on a single by Andre Ethier. He bunts it and bunts it beautifully up the third base side. Barehanded by Polanco. Throws, not in time. Theriot just beat it.
Theriot will be a nice player for them. You know, he plays a game according to his skill level. He doesn't run all that well, you know, for a guy that can want to do those kind of things, but he runs well enough, and he can handle the bat. Here it is. That's a terrific drag bunt right there. And Polanco does a tremendous job. He does all he can do.
Theriot nearly turned his ankle stepping on the bag.
He jumped at it. You know, see that all the time when they jump at the bag. Now he gives a hole for a really good hitter like Ethier to get one through.
Ethier drove in the run and lines one toward the gap in right center field. Worth is on the run. He's not going to get there. 1 hop off the wall. Terrios to third. He's being waved home. He's going to score easily. It's going to be 2-0 Dodgers. 2 RBIs for Andre Ethier.
Well, Andre Ethier can really hit, especially right-handed pitching. That guy's a tremendous hitter and a clutch hitter. A lot of walk-off hits. Here it is, and looked like, I don't know whether he was trying to get that in on him, but he left it out over the plate, and bam.
So Theriot will catch his breath, and another left-handed batter, James Loney, is at the plate with Ethier over at second. Loney takes a changeup for a strike, and it's 0-1. Loney popped to center his first time up. Loney among the leaders in batting average with runners in scoring position. But Gabby Sanchez has worked his way up to 5th in the league in average with runners in scoring position. Go to low, 2-1.
Good looking player. He's the guy who hit the ball that may have been fair that night in Florida. And then to Ryan Madson's credit, he struck him out with a changeup. Not a bad idea, really. To not let this guy hurt you here with Blake on deck.
Well, he's already up to 49 pitches, and there is 1 out here in the 3rd.
Well, they have an extra pitcher for a few days to the Phillies, only 4 extra men.
Okay, the Phillies optioned out John Mayberry back to AAA today and activated Antonio Bastardo. Ball 4. 2 aboard for the Dodgers with 1 away. And that'll bring Casey Blake to the plate.
That's not the kind of walk right there that's going to bring the pitching coach out, because he knows what they were just doing. And that's that they were being careful with that left-handed hitter. It could really hurt him with a base open and a right-handed hitter on deck.
And Kendrick got the right-handed hitter on a pop out to Ruiz his last time up. Walks have not been an issue for Kyle during the second half of the season. He did walk 3 against Arizona a couple starts ago. Beyond that, he is not giving out a whole lot of free passes. That one's toward 3rd. Oh, what a play by Polanco. They'll get 1 at 2nd, and that's it. But it was a sharp 1 at 2nd. Over to 3rd is Ethier. 2 outs here in the 3rd.
So Polanco kept getting hurt earlier in the year after being hit on the elbow. When he would dive for a ball, he would fall on that left elbow. You just hold your breath, and because he looked like he was in some pain after he came up there. Here it is. No, he didn't fall on it. Good. That's a tremendous play. He just couldn't quite right himself in time to get a double play. That ball's by him when he catches that.
He's kind of stretching that arm out a little bit.
That's the play you worry about with him, because that's how he hurt his elbow before. I mean, obviously he hurt it when he got hit by Pitt. Who hit him? Hudson?
Tim Hudson.
Yeah, that was the first time he hurt it. And then he would hurt it on plays like that when he had a dive and he would hit his elbow again.
The Phillies certainly do not need another injury. Here's Gibbons. He singled his first time up. And that's on the inside corner. Phillies are hoping to get Shane Victorino back sometime in the next couple of days. Shane is scheduled to play tonight for Lehigh Valley. Chase Utley's been working out more and more, getting himself hopefully ready to come back at the end of this month or the beginning of next month.
Ryan Howard was walking around pretty well today.
He sure was.
He had a little spring in his step.
He did.
I said that to him when I saw him. I said, man, you look like you're moving pretty good. He said, I feel good.
He was walking up the stairs into the clubhouse, going to get his rehab started.
That was nice to see.
Runners on 1st and 3rd. 1-1 the count to Gibbons. On the hands, right pass floated to right field, a base hit. Scoring easily from 3rd, Ethier. Dominic Brown bobbled the ball. They wouldn't have gotten the runner over 3rd anyway. Casey Blake just turned his ankle going to 3rd. It's 3-0 Los Angeles. Gibbons is 3 for 3.
And one left-handed hitter after another. Gets hits. Or hits it hard. That one ball wasn't hit that hard, but it was in a good spot right there. And Ross just can't get to it. And there, as Tom said, Brown was careless there, kind of overruns the ball, but they would have had 1st and 3rd anyway.
So of the 6 hits, 5 have come from the left-handers. And Jamie Carroll watches that one go by outside for a ball. In fact, the lefties are 5 for 7 against Kendrick so far in the game.
Well, that's why they pitched around Loney in that spot. They were hoping maybe get a double play ball from Blake, but he scalded that thing, and they were lucky to get one on it.
right, Ausmus is on deck. This is the 23rd pitch of the inning for Kyle. And it's a strike. It's the first strike to Carroll, and it's 3-1. Kyle's worked the count back full 3-2, so the runner will be off from first. That's Gibbons.
Decide whether to hold him on or not, and they have Glode sort of holding him on. He's going to back up quickly.
He's in the neighborhood. Runner goes from first, 3-2, hit on the ground towards shortstop. Waiting for it, Jimmy Rollins. He's got it, throws to first to the side, is retired. But the Dodgers scored 2 more. They get 2 on 3 hits. They strand 2. Middle of the third, it's Los Angeles 3, the Phillies nothing. West.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Toyota. There are many reasons to buy a Toyota, and now's the perfect time to get yours during Toyota's National Clearance Event. Well, last to the third, Dodgers lead at 3-0, so the Phils have some work to do if they're going to get back in this game. Still early, Vicente Padilla is on the hill for the Dodgers, and Wilson Valdez leads it off for the Phils. Valdez 4 for 11 on the homestand.
Can't help but notice about Padilla as he works the corners more. He tries to pitch. He tries to pitch in. He tries to pitch out. He doesn't just stand out there and fire the way that he used to. He can't. He doesn't have the same velocity that he used to have, and his ball would move so much. Now he looks like he tries to set hitters up.
Well, for his career, I mean, he is a better than 500 pitcher now. He's 103 and 88 during his career. Valdez pops it toward left center, and Pasednik is over. 1 away.
Here's his first career start with the Phillies. Vicente Padilla against the Atlanta Braves, and Gary Sheffield goes deep into the night for that one. And then Chipper Jones lines one off him, and that was both early in the game. And then he settled down, pitched pretty well, because back in those days, and I don't know as much now, but he hit you too. He hit Chipper Jones twice on 3-0 pitches, and you knew he hit him on purpose. I'm going to walk it anyway, so here. Boom.
Well, after that ball went back and hit Padilla back on the hill, he was up 3-1 at that time. Now, they hit some rockets against him that night.
Yeah. Well, that was when he was a thrower.
You can see the ball moving.
Oh, my. His ball snaked. But, you know, he threw a lot of balls right in the middle of the place because he really didn't have great concentration powers then.
I think he thought he had superpowers then.
Well, nobody knew what he thought. I don't know they do now, but You know, I've seen him on TV a few times. Just watching him tonight, he's totally different than he used to be. The way that he looks like he has an idea of what he's doing out there. And he's not doesn't just throw the thing.
1-2 the count to Kendrick. And a breaking ball swung on and missed. 2 outs. That's the first strikeout for Padilla. Hey, the Phillies, an extraordinary tradition. A hardcover coffee table book is the definitive pictorial history of the Phillies. Features over 400 photos plus rare pieces of memorabilia and original essays from Phillies stars, past and present. This 252-page book covers the storied 128-year history of the Phils. Get one today by calling 877-GO-PHILS or in the ballpark at the Majestic Clubhouse store.
You have one of those?
I have 2 now.
I heard.
I won one yesterday in the Phillies golf outing, the alumni golf outing.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well, it was nothing to do with me.
Really?
No.
Oh. Just do back-to-back, whatever those are, soap bubbles.
Soap bubbles. I like that.
Look at them looking out.
You would think that they were used to it now, but it still has to make them laugh. 2-0 the count to Jimmy Rollins. And it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, he's not going to throw 3.
Polanco waits on deck.
He just put a sleeve in that elbow, didn't he?
Well, he had been wearing a sleeve.
Was that on there? I don't think that was on there when he dove for that ball.
No, it wasn't. But he's been wearing it when he's batting.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Because he wants to pad the elbow.
Jimmy was taken all the way. In fact, he was backing out of the box.
Okay, it's not as big as it was before.
Jimmy's shin guard is as big as it was before.
That's a big shin guard.
Chops it toward first, backing up on it. Loney. He'll take it to the bag, and the side is retired. Padilla's retired the side in order here in the 3rd. So we have played our first 3 here at Citizens Bank Park, and the Dodgers, well, they lead it by 3. Supplies, kitchen snacks, and Green Mountain coffee. Well, for all your office needs, who but W.B. Mason? As we go to the top of the 4th, Gary Matthews settles in. And the Phillies are hoping that Kyle Kendrick will settle in, trailing at 3-0, Sarge.
Yeah, well, he's had base runners every inning. Needs to start throwing those first pitch strikes if he can.
Well, he doesn't do it to Brad Ausmus. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Now, in Kyle's defense, the last few starts, that's exactly what he's been doing, throwing first pitch strikes.
Well, to be successful, you have to. You know, he's not a pitcher that's going to throw or strike out a lot of hitters, so therefore, he's depending on that ground ball.
Back toward the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Brad Ausmus. A leadoff single here in the 4th. That means Padilla could try to sacrifice him into scoring position. Ausmus came into the ballgame hitting 200. His average before that hit was at 190.
Finally got off that interstate.
Kendrick got Padilla his first time up. Good news is Ausmus is a catcher. You figure he might have a play at second if Padilla gets the bunt down. He misses. But Ausmus does run fairly well. Keeps himself in pretty good shape.
Yeah, he'll be able to get a pretty good jump to that ball down on the ground because first base Globe would actually be running in to try and get the bunt. So he'll be leaving that first base.
Bunts at it and bunts it foul, and it's 0-2. Padilla, when he was with the Phillies, was not a great bunter. He went over to the American League and didn't get a lot of opportunities to make himself a better bunter, and he just missed that one.
Now, got to stay on top of the ball, and you can see he does have his fingers, though, are in a position where, I mean, for me, that's okay there. You see, has it right on the side of the bat as opposed to having your fingers all the way on it. That's the correct way. But you got to have the barrel on top of the ball in order to get it down.
Two and two the count. He bunts it back toward the mound. They got to play at second. Kendrick. Oh, Jimmy Rollins. Something happened. He tripped over the bag.
Yep.
He just tripped over the bag. And that puts runners on first and second. I thought he turned his ankle initially, but he just fell over the bag.
Yeah, I thought he had did the same thing as he goes toward the back of the bag and just actually tripped. Take a good look at this. Ball bunted very hard back. That's what you want, a double play. Now, that's a pretty good throw, and he just tripped. Nothing else to be said about it.
They scored a fielder's choice and an E6. And the top of the order is up with nobody out. Descending bunts at it and misses. He pulled the bat head back, and it's 1-0. Phillies do have bullpen action already here in the fourth. Antonio Bastardo is loosening up in the pen. There's a reason for that. Not only because Kendrick is struggling, but because the Dodgers' better hitters are left-handed. Charlie Manuel's got a lefty loosening up if he has to make a move. I would think he's going to make a move soon.
He's in a hitter's count here, and again, been struggling with the control here. He's had base runners every single inning. Looking for a ground ball. Well, you're not close to the zone. Hitters aren't going to chase balls that might even be close. You got to establish that pitch early in the game, whatever one it is. Fastball, change up, or your breaking ball.
I would think it's hard, Sarge, when it seems like you don't have any pitches working, when you have to go right to the fastball, because it becomes, as you say, a predictable pitch all the time.
Predictable pitch. He should get another fastball right here.
And he does, and a liner right past Valdez into right field, a base hit. To third and holding is Ausmus as the throw goes to second. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
The only reason Larry Boyd did not send him, very simple. You got that catcher that was running, even though Dominic Brown threw that ball to second base. Larry's telling them to watch the line drives. They could go through. That ball was smoked, by the way. Low fastball. Still can get out of this. Get that ground ball going right back to him. Go home to first.
Ryan Theriot, the hitter. Theriot tonight is 1 for 2. He reached on an infield hit, a bunt single his last time up, scored a run, and grounded his shortstop in the first inning. And the Phillies played the infield at double play depth, down 3-0.
Good sink on that fastball. See how that two-seamer as he just dove right in the last minute. He's getting some late break, just not able to find the zone. See that split. 44 strikes, 31 balls. A lot of pitches, Tom, here so far.
A lot of pitches. And not only that, Sarge, you said the split. I mean, it's just not a good ratio.
No.
Last time Kyle had an outing like this was way back on the 19th of July when he allowed 7 runs on 7 hits in 5 innings. Opposite way. That's going to get a run home. Dominic Brown back toward the track, makes the catch. The runners tag. The throw goes to Valdez. A sac fly for Theriot. It's 4-0 Dodgers. And that may be it for Kyle Kendrick.
Yeah, that's a good play, too, though, for Dominic Brown. Throwing that ball to second base, keeping the double play in order.
Here comes Charlie Manuel as the Dodgers congratulate Theriot coming off after the sac fly. The left-hander Antonio Bastardo has been loosening up in the bullpen. Charlie heading out to the mound, and he's going to take the baseball from Kyle Kendrick. So it's a short night for Kendrick. He's relieved here in the 4th with 1 man down. Here comes Antonio Bastardo. They have a pitching change. Kyle Kendrick's evening is complete, although his line is not complete just yet because the 2 runners on are his responsibility. He's allowed, or the Dodgers have picked up 8 hits so far in 3+ innings. Here's Antonio Bastardo back from the minor leagues and back off the disabled list. Bastardo is 17th big league game. He had a 5.11 ERA before he went on the disabled list with a bad arm. He had pitched well for the Iron Pigs. And he'll inherit 2 base runners. Padilla over at third and Posednik over at first. 1 out, and Andre Ethier is the hitter. Now, Sarge, usually you'll go to a long man at this point, and the Phillies' long man has either been David Herndon or Chad Durbin. But because of all the lefties that the Dodgers have, particularly the ones due up, that's the reason Charlie goes with Bastardo here, correct?
Yeah, need to be able to have that left-hander stop the bleeding right now. And here's a guy that throws a fastball, good fastball, that can get a strikeout as opposed to the guy just driving in another run with a sacrifice fly or a hit.
Ethier swinging at the first pitch, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1.
Good spot. That's what I'm talking about. Now you mix in that little breaking ball and maybe put a little fear into his heart up there. Little Ethier, pretty good hitter, coming into his own.
upstairs with a fastball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Bastardo down in the minor leagues with the Iron Pigs this year was pitching pretty well. In fact, at 13 2/3, he allowed just 4 hits. He had 21 strikeouts. The opposition was 4 for 45 against him.
This guy has the arm. There's just no question about it. Just needs to get that confidence up. You know, when he pitches in the Dominican League there, he's one of the better lefties there in the league. And again, there's some pretty good hitters in that league. So it has to do with confidence for me, for him. Has the arm and the velocity at 95. That's good enough to get major league hitters out.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Ethier. 2 hits tonight, 2 RBIs. And a slider outside, 2-1. May have been a hanger right there.
Yeah, well, it was a breaking ball, and I wanted to see whether or not he was going to come back with that, as opposed to the fastball. He just has those 2 pitches, but you're right. This up in the zone here, foot down, and it was a hanger. He just missed it. You can give him that really good slider down and away. Maybe fastball in, might tie him up and get him out of here.
It's even 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's 3-2. James Loney, another left-handed batter, waiting on deck. Padilla over at third, Posednik at first. It's already 4-0 Dodgers. They already have 8 hits.
Gotta like that. Another slider.
Well, speaking of the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, Shane Victorino wearing number 16 for the Iron Pigs gets a base hit in his first at bat in the bottom of the first. And then he flied out to left in the 4th. So 1 for 2 so far. And if all goes well, Shane could be activated later on this week as the Phillies prepare for that series in New York against the Mets.
Look good with that little double flap on.
Line drive over the head of Valdez, and Ethier has 3 hits tonight and 3 ribbies. Padilla scores easily from third. It's 5-0 Dodgers.
Well, he's just a good hitter. Again, that's a slider that he hit, but not that one that really had hard breakage. You see Ethier take a deep breath like, wow, especially with him throwing 95. Check this out. Slider as it breaks. Had some break to it, and give Ethier credit there. Not that bad of a pitch as he goes down and drives that ball. Stays on it. Good mechanics. For all those kids out there that are left-handed hitters. Foot down when you're hitting the ball.
Well, Padilla's got a 5-run lead to work with here at the top of the 4th, and his offense still has just 1 out. Here's James Loney. Loney walked his last time up, flied to center his first time up.
Still got to watch, though, Posednik there at second base. He'll run.
I think that pitch may have hurt the hand of Carlos Ruiz, or he was crossed up. I'm not sure. Something's wrong, though.
And that's the biggest difference, too, between Lehigh Valley, which is AAA, and the major leagues, is the consistency to throw your pitches and be able to throw them where you want. Here in the major leagues, the majority of the time, you got to throw that ball where you want.
He misses again with the slider. It's 2-1. Well, I guess it's part physical, but it is part, as you said, confidence.
It's all mental, too, though, for me, because he's proved he can get major league hitters out. You can't be that good of a pitcher in the Dominican League. Even though it's a different type of league, you have good hitters that are in that league. But I'm sure his confidence is up, being able to spot that slider.
David Herndon is throwing now in the pen. There's still one more lefty after Loney. That's Gibbons, but he's up after Casey Blake, who's on deck. One out, top of the fourth, 5-0 Dodgers. Opposite way, that's going to be another base hit. Read beautifully by Pasetnik. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate by Ibanez on one hop, not in time. Ball seemed to die when it took that hop.
Yeah, third base coach Larry Bowa almost coming down the line with him and giving him an all right as he slides in. He wears that on his sleeve, getting a runner thrown out at home plate. An aggressive player himself when he played. All the Philly fans know that. Not many runners you're going to take a chance on to score. You can see Larry going down and take a look at him as he almost goes into a slide himself as Pasetnik comes in and slides down.
It's
very aggressive.
It was almost as if Larry was trying to will Pasetnik to slide on the top part of home plate.
Very animated he is.
Well, you're right. Philly fans certainly know that. They know that as a player. They know that as a coach. They know that as a manager. And just flat out as a person. Here's Casey Blake, seventh man to bat in the inning for Los Angeles. 0-1 the count to Blake. And a fastball hit to right, pretty deep. Brown going back. He's going to sit and watch it go off the top of the wall. Takes it on a bare hand. Heading home is Ethier. He's going to score. It's 7-0 Dodgers.
Wow.
The fans are not liking what they're seeing.
See, these are the things that will take away from your confidence a little bit. But, you know, I still think he's going to be a real good pitcher. Even though there's some sad faces, still a lot of time here left. We've seen them score runs before, but this ball is smoked by Casey Blake. It's another fastball. You see it going off the right field wall. Dominic plays it pretty good as he turns and just whiffs the ball and did miss that cutoff man. See how close he is there to the wall. That's pretty good, though. He made a pretty good play.
It almost hit a fan, too, which means that Blake would have been awarded second. Instead, he's at first with a long single. First and third. Jay Gibbons takes a slider for a strike. Gibbons is 2 for 2 tonight, 3 for 3 since being activated by the Dodgers. Loney's over at third. Blake's at first.
Got to get his concentration back, get that ball down. Well, no pitcher, no matter how hard he can throw. Well, maybe unless you're Nolan Ryan, can continually pitch high in the zone. And especially if it's straight.
Two and two to count to Gibbons. Sarge, you talk about some perseverance. How about not being in the big leagues since 2007, being in the independent leagues two different times?
It's just an unbelievable story, and it just shows you his dream that he has to be a major leaguer, and he was a pretty good one at one time. To fight his way back, you admire that from players as he swings at that slide piece. That's what I'm talking about.
Second out.
Well, that's that slider. However, though, he needed to throw to the other left-handers. Have a little bit more success. That had some tough, hard break on it. But take a look at this as it goes. Thinking of fastball, look at that. He had no chance to hit that ball. Bad position hitting, too.
J.B. Carroll's the 9th man to bat in the inning for the Dodgers. And he rips it right at Polanco. The side is retired. Dodgers scored 4 runs in the inning against Kyle Kendrick and Antonio Bastardo. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, it's 7-0 L.A. W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason for amazingly low office product prices? By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phillies. And by Suzuki and the new Kazashi midsize sports sedan. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Now, last of the 4th, and the Phillies certainly have some work to do. They trail at 7-0. The Dodgers with 11 hits in their first 4 innings. It'll be Placido Polanco, Ross Glode, and Raul Ibanez to lead it off against Vicente Padilla. Padilla's been around the strike zone tonight. He's allowed just 2 hits. And he's around it again, and it's 0-1.
Well, just need base runners, start to chip away, get 1 here, 2 here, 3 there, and get back in it.
Back toward the middle, and there you go, Sarge. Chip it away, there's the first hit. A leadoff single for Polanco, 3rd hit overall for the Phillies.
Yeah, picking on a little slider that didn't really have that tremendous break to it. Polanco, good hitter, good setup. He drives the ball right back up the middle.
Well, Ross Glode singled his first time up. He's 1 for 1. Ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. But if you're Ross Glode, you're not going to swing at that pitch, are you?
Well, it just depends. It depends whether or not he's sitting on it. Ross, though, is more of a fastball type of a hitter, so he'll sit on that. But one of my ex-teammates long ago.
That one's in the air to left field. Pretty well hit. It's going to stay in the yard, though, as Gibbons makes the catch. 1 away. Go ahead, one of your ex-teammates.
Yeah, and that was a fastball that he hit. You throw Willie McCovey or Willie Stargell one of those pitches there, they might hit it on the moon. They got that uppercut swing that's going on, and they would go up there up to 2 strikes and then just sit on that pitch. And once they got 2 strikes, now they're going to go back to conventional looking fastball and then adjust it. But if they got that pitch, maybe that second pitch or that first pitch, boy, they're going to square it up.
Well, that kind of tumbler that Padilla is throwing, we don't see it on a daily basis in the big leagues anymore. I mean, was it more prevalent when you played or when McCovey and Mays played before, McCovey and Stargell played in the earlier part of their career?
I got to tell you, I don't remember any of the pitchers throwing that eephus pitch like that to any of us. They were all hard stuff that we had to worry about. That's what I thought. That's what I remember. I don't remember any soft stuff unless it was from, you know, Randy Jones or Tommy John.
Yeah, see, I was wondering about that just because you said those guys could sit on it and wait. You just think theoretically they could sit on a pitch like that and wait.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
They go up there and sit on a pitch. Hank Aaron would do the same thing, even though he's a fastball hitter. He'd go up and say, I'm looking breaking ball, and this and that, and get it and hit it hard.
On the outside corner, it's 2-1. Well, Sarge, while we're talking breaking balls, we also want to thank the folks from the city of Newcastle, Delaware. We had this note waiting for us when we came to the booth today. It says the city of Newcastle, Delaware loves the Phillies. The Phillies rock is what it actually says. So we appreciate the note very much. I didn't want to let the day go by without thanking the kids who put this note together.
Well, that's really pretty good. And again, it just shows you even the young fans are into this pitted drive that we got going on.
Well, a new set of fans has grown in love with this ballpark and this ball club over the last few years. 3-1 the count to Raul Ibanez. Ibanez grounded out sharply to second in his first time up. There's Jason Worth getting his picture taken by that lady behind him. Come on, frame it. Ball 4, 2 aboard. .50 pitches now for Padilla. You know, during the stretch of 13 wins in 14 games for the Phillies, they haven't been down by this large a margin.
No, not at all. And again, games have been a little bit closer. It's about time, though. We see maybe that putting on the hitting shoes, being able to come back, win a ball game like this.
Why not?
Gives you a lot of momentum going into the next ball game. But in all fairness, let's face it, they've been playing good baseball and winning games as of late.
Well, here's Jason Worth. He singled his last time up and was erased on a really fine double play by James Loney, the first baseman. Oh boy, it seemed like he was set up for that hook, and just at the last moment spun out.
See, and that's okay though, and I know just from being around Jason, I'm sure he was looking for that. But see what he did though? He didn't hit it the opposite way. He kind of came off of the ball just a little bit, focusing the other way. We've seen him. He can hit balls out of here to right field too. Looking for it again. Because he doesn't take fastballs, and that's that other thing of guessing. You know, if you're going to be a guesser, you got to be guessing right most of the time. Now he's in a defensive mode. So for me, I'm going to stay hard if I can and just adjust. I'm not trying to hit it out. If it goes out, great. Other than that, I'm just trying to make solid contact. Wherever it goes, it goes.
I think he's going to get the eephus here. Nope. Just all those signs that Ausmus was throwing down there, I thought it was going to be there.
Well, if you're at that, if you're the batter there, you lose your lips on looking for that breaking ball and get a fastball, and that's why you don't do the opposite. You look fastball so you can get out of there, or don't look for that breaking ball where you just can't get out of there with 2 strikes. I don't know if he likes to throw it too many times and in an at bat. I mean, you know, he's kind of like got to feel, hey, I got that strike on there. Let me get away from this right now.
When he pitched for the Phillies, he would drop down and throw almost the same pitch, but it would come in such a hittable fashion. It would drive Larry Bowa crazy.
Oh boy, I would bet.
There it is. Ooh, a little high.
Just a little high, but you can see though Jason wasn't in any mood to be able to hit that ball there. Look at this. he's there. I take that back. He looked like he was right there on it. That's not bad right there.
2-2 the count to Jason. Good at bat.
This is big right here.
Dominic Brown's on deck.
Trying to scratch a run out of here. If you can get more, you're back in it.
Ball four. The bases are loaded. Put a little pressure on Padilla. Second straight walk. Hey, meet the two keys to the Birds' 2010 running attack. Leonard Weaver and LaShawn McCoy give us their take on the Eagles' offense. And new QB Kevin Cobb and more. Meet the Eagles Sunday night at 10:30 following Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Leonard Weaver had such a great year last year for the Eagles. You see Polanco over third. Ibanez at second. Worth having a conversation with Davey Lopes over at first. Rick Honeycutt, the Dodgers pitching coach, who was a pretty good pitcher in his own right when he was in the big leagues, out talking to Vicente Padilla. Dominic Brown is due up for the Phillies with the bases loaded and one gone. See the pitches by inning for Padilla. He has one out here in the fourth. What do you think he's thinking, Sarge? Up 7-0 with the bases loaded.
Dominic Brown?
Vicente Padilla.
Well, he's thinking trying to get a ground ball. For sure. That's what he wants to do. And one of the reasons Honeycutt came out was just to remind him how to pitch to him and also to give him a little bit breather. Dominic's thinking about hitting it hard as he can. Good eye.
Same pitch, ball two. It's 2-0. Dominic in his last at bat had Padilla's fastball timed, I thought, by the end of the at bat.
Yeah. He started taking and having good swings. See if he gets this predictable pitch here, which would be a fastball. This would be an automatic take for me no matter what. I don't care if he throws the ball right down the middle. You're down by 7 runs. Want to put the pressure on the pitcher, Padilla.
And you throw it right down the chute for a strike. It's 3-1. He's probably figured he's going to get a similar pitch here.
Well, just got to relax. Just put a good swing on it and don't be late.
The Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Marlins roughed up Steven Strasburg for 5 earned runs and 4 to third. Strasburg making his return to the DL. It's 5-1 Florida. That game's at the top of the 5th. Here it's 7-0 Dodgers. The Phillies have the bases loaded. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Dominic Brown. In the air to right field. That'll get a run home as Ethier makes the grab. Tagging from third, Polanco. It's a line drive, sac fly by Dominic Brown, and the Phillies are on the board. It's 7-1 LA.
Boy, I tell you, any place but right at them, they're off to the races. You got to give credit, though, for Brown staying back and hitting a good pitch. He got tested on the first 2 pitches, fastballs inside. He laid off of them. Now take a look at this as he gets on top of a fastball. Good position, hitting against that front leg. Head down on the ball. That's what produces that line drive. Almost got in the lights.
Well, now Ruiz with 2 runners on and 2 outs. And on the outside corner, Ruiz is down 0-1. Let me ask you how close Dominic Brown came to putting that one in the seats.
Well, I had top spin on
Yep.
that. You know, I mean, he hit it hard enough. If it was going in the right kind of area, he had a chance. But I thought he got on top of it, which prevented that ball from going up. He had that top spin where the ball's going to go down, and you saw out there in right field where it actually went down to try, you know, I mean, to catch that ball. Just making sure, though, that he caught it. Well, he smoked it, though.
He sure did.
Hit the ball hard. If it's any place other than right at him, it's in a gap, possibly 3 bases for him. Jason Worth at first base, great speed. Had a good chance to maybe score.
0-2 the count to Ruiz. 25th pitch of the inning for Padilla. He's fortunate he's only allowed a run. And a call, strike 3. Mike Riley a little delayed with that call. But Carlos goes down looking, and the side is retired. The Phillies do get a run. They strand 2. They pick up 1 hit. We head to the 5th. It's a 6-run Dodger lead. First and 22nd. That 22nd is the ShopRite Cole Hamels Lunch Bag Cooler, free to fans 14 and under. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Nationals are out of it, really, in the National League East, but there's a lot of games for the Phillies against the Washington Nationals and everybody else in the East coming up. And Brian Schneider's coming into the ballgame as part of a double switch for the Phillies. Phillies trailing at 7-1 as we go to the top of the 5th. He's in, so is David Herndon. Herndon in his 33rd game, 1-2 with a 4.08 ERA. So Carlos Ruiz made the final out in the 4th inning. And that's the spot that Herndon will bat in. And Schneider will bat in the 9-hole. Charlie Manuel chatting with Carlos Ruiz. I think this is just because they want to give David Herndon or get him to pitch a couple innings, Sarge. And pitcher spot is due up second when we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, well, they don't want to waste pitchers now. As many innings as you can pitch, that's what he wants them to do. That's why he used that double switch.
Charlie's had to go to his lineup card very early in this ball game. This is the 3rd pitcher he's had to use. And Brad Ausmus has the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sarge, anytime the leadoff hitter gets on in an inning, it's a big deal. For Ausmus, getting on in the fourth, I think was even a bigger deal because he was really struggling. A, because he doesn't play much, but B, he was just flat out struggling before that base hit.
Yeah, we've seen players, though, come here and end up getting hits. And there's a little flare.
But that kind of set the tone for the inning, and then the bunt by Padilla in the fifth inning or fourth inning that was mishandled around the second base bag because Jimmy tripped. That was a big deal too.
Yeah, that was a huge deal because possibly it could have been a double play. Then the situation there, you would have runners on first and second, and then things got a little bit eerie after that.
There's Padilla, a healthy hack and a foul, and it's 0-1.
Oh, Kyle Kendrick, he ended up getting what he wanted. Ball bunted hard right back to him. But nothing you can do about it. It's one of the reasons this team, for sure, they don't put the blame on any individual. They win and lose as a group. That's the way it should be.
Two and two the count to Padilla. Took a sinker inside. And a foul tip into the glove of Schneider. 2 outs. First strikeout for Herndon. And David has done something in this inning that no pitcher has been able to do, and that's get the first 2 batters in an inning. And here's Scott Pasetnik, who's had a pretty good night so far. Now, the Phillies have not had a 1-2-3 inning yet tonight, but every time the Phillies retire the opposing team in order, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play. It's your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. With 2 outs, Pasetnik stands in, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to him. Two and 0.
He's got his average up to 234 coming into the game. 205.
And not a lot of at bats in a Dodger uniform. This guy was having a pretty good year in Kansas City. Right side, this could be a 1-2-3 inning. Valdez has it, fires a fastball at Glode. He makes sure it's a 1-2-3 inning. Good job by David Herndon. He retires the Dodgers in order. That takes us to the bottom of the 5th, where the Phil's offense try to get back in the ballgame. August 14th from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. right here at the ballpark. So this Saturday, you can log on to redcrossblood.org/Phillies or call 800-RED CROSS for more information. The Fanatic will be there, and Farron and the rest of the Phillies ball girls will be in attendance as well. They'll be there throughout the course of the ball game. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Phillies trail at 7-1. Wilson Valdez, Brian Schneider, and then the top of the order for the Phillies.
Plan to give any blood?
I'll be in New York, Sarge, with the ball club. I'm not sure if you'll be up there as well. I will at some point this year.
I don't do very good with needles.
We've gone through this before. That's why whenever I read one of those cards and we're in town, it says Joy, Tom McCarthy, Scott Fransky, Larry Anderson, Jim Jackson, and Chris Wheeler.
Good.
But it excludes, you are excluded from that list.
Good, thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. Good calls, though.
Opposite way for Valdez, a little flare toward right. That's going to drop in for a base hit. And Wilson has his fifth hit of the series, or of the homestand. The Phillies have the leadoff batter aboard for the second straight inning, and here's Brian Schneider.
Again, just chipping away is what you want to do. Warm evening out here, which means the pitchers might get a little tired a little sooner. So what you want to do is just keep them on that mound and doing a lot of movement and pitching.
Right past the third base coach's box, and it's 0-1. The young lady's a happy camper. I got a kick out of it when he was here in Philadelphia, and I still get a kick out of it every time I see him throw it.
You like that pitch, huh?
Well,
he slows his arm down.
I'd like to see it they put in the second deck in right field or left, depending on what side of the plate the Phillies are hitting from.
So far, every time he's thrown it, he's come back with something that has been hard.
Oh, but if you're a pitching coach and you see that pitch, I mean, I know at this point Rick Honeycutt's thinking, I'm going to let him do what he wants to do. I mean, if he throws it for strikes, you don't care. But if he, keeps it to the point where the hitter's going to start hitting it, then they're going to tell him to stop throwing. Right?
I would think so.
He broke his bat. A flare to right, and Schneider's now 1 for 17 in his career against Padilla.
As long as you're having success with your pitches, and he's out there throwing it in areas haven't been hit hard so far tonight. He's going to keep throwing it, and it just gives the hitter something to think about in the back of his mind.
Jimmy's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, once to third on a breaking ball, the other time to first. Back toward the middle. That's a base hit. Valdez around second. He's flying over to third. Pacetic has no chance. The Phillies have runners on first and third.
Boy, very aggressive base running for Valdez. That's what you want to do. Jimmy Rollins very aggressive on that first pitch. Hard sinker. He blasts that right up the middle. No, I think he's more of a leadoff hitter that he's got to swing. He's not one of those guys that can go up and just take pitches. That's not a strike. However, he made it a strike, hitting it right up the middle and being aggressive. Much better hitter. Now look at Valdez as he goes around the base. Never hesitated. Gets in without a throw. Pacetic's going to keep that double play in order, so he's not going to take a chance and throw that ball to the third base.
Here's Polanco. Polanco is 1 for 2. And a foul ball. It's 0-1. We just saw Valdez go from first to third. The other night we talked about Sweeney going from first to third. I was talking to Bob Schaefer, the bench coach of the Dodgers, earlier today, who I knew when he was in the Red Sox organization, and he was talking about guys going from first to third. Why is it so surprising to us nowadays when we see Sweeney and Valdez doing it? And why aren't more guys doing it more aggressively?
Well, the reason what we're surprised is just what you're saying. We haven't seen guys that do it. So when they do it, very aggressive again. That's what you'd like to see. Well, it used to be the norm. Base hit, you go to third base. And now all of a sudden guys just, they're taking it easy. And the way you get there is from your break from first base, knowing when that ball is hit. When that ball is hit on the ground, automatically you got to be able to go up. As you take a look at Chase Utley.
Now he's a guy that would go first to third and do it effectively.
He's a baseball player, definitely. Jimmy Rollins can do the same thing, and along with Jason Worth. But top to bottom, when you do it, you're putting pressure on the pitcher.
Polanco on the hands, a roller toward third. That'll get a run home. Blake looked to second, and he throws to first. So the Phillies have scored a second run. It's now a 5-run game. So if the theory is, Sarge, you laid it out, chip away, the Phillies are chipping away.
Yeah, again, you give credit to the Valdez. He got that hit, went first to third there on J-Rose hit, and ending up scoring on a ball that was not a hit. And normally you'd be able to get almost 2 on that, although it was hit a little bit too slow. But that's why you end up getting that run, and Casey Blake taking the sure out.
And now you have a runner in scoring position for Globe, where a 2-out hit will score Jimmy.
Teams that don't have great records are not playing well, like Los Angeles. You start chipping away, and they start feeling that, hey, this team's coming back again.
In the air to right field. That one's deep, and it is not coming back. A 2-run home run for Ross Glode. And the Phillies have indeed chipped away. And they're coming on back as they trail it by 3.
We talked about him being a fastball hitter, and he stays on it. He likes to hit it. He squared the ball up. There's a difference. His ball carried with a little backspin. Dominic's ball had topspin going down. Look at this as he pops it. See you later. Padilla knew it. They're familiar with that kind of sound there, Tom.
Well, and Padilla of Newtown Square, PA, you've just won $100. Compliments of Ross Glode of the McDonald's home run jackpot. It's a 7-4 game. Ibanez the batter, and Raul pops it foul, and it's 1-1, and he got a pitch to hit there.
No, they're starting to make a little bit more contact, starting to get a little bit more aggressive with their at-bats, and not just swinging wildly, but end up taking pitch. Now watch his reaction as that ball gets hit out of the ballpark. It's like, oh, no. Oh, no. Well, oh, yes, because it did get out of here.
By 2-1. This was a 7-0 game, and now it's a 3-run ball game. Boy, he was raring back. I think he thought he had it timed.
Just if it could be down. That's a good pitch, however, to swing at, first of all. But if it's down just a little bit or maybe a little bit quicker, you don't want to be out in front on that breaking ball. I thought that was a pretty good swing there by Ibanez.
Over toward first. Easy hop for Loney. And the side is retired, but the damage is done. The Phillies have chipped away. They've made this a 3-run game, thanks in part to a 2-run home run by Ross Glode. It's 7-4 Dodgers. And they need David Herndon to duplicate what he did in the 5th, and that is minimize the Dodgers offense. We go to the top of the 6th. Herndon retired the sided order in the 5th. The Phillies scored 3 runs against Padilla. And now he has to face Ryan Theriot, Andre Ethier, and James Loney.
Yeah, just a difficult part of the lineup, too. And again, needs that shutdown inning, and you like it after you scored, just to let that opposition know we're on our way back.
Toward right field. Not deep. Brown on the run like a gazelle, and he can't get there. He slides, and that gentleman made the catch, but I don't think Dominic would have been able to get there.
No, kind of ran out of room is the only reason that he didn't catch it. There he is, sliding again. So he took a little bit of a look.
He was in the neighborhood. The gentleman reached over to make that catch, but I don't think Dominic would have been able to get himself
not in that
to
position.
finish.
No way.
Yeah.
Ball sinking pretty quick.
It was a nice catch by the fan.
You don't want to walk the first batter, and especially a guy that can steal a base or will attempt to steal a base. You want to make him hit to get on.
Theriot content to take that pitch, even though the count was 3-1. He didn't like it, so it's 3-2. Theriot is 1 for 2 tonight. He had a sac fly his last time up. Ethier has been smoking hot. He has 3 hits tonight. Toward third, right past Polanco. Base hit, and Theriot's aboard. A leadoff single here in the 6th.
Well, you used to really love it when you have a base stealer that would get on. You know, as a hitter, that you're going to get primarily fastballs, because if they throw breaking balls, the fast runner or base stealer can get to second base.
Well, the other thing, too, is David Herndon doesn't have a great slider. You know, his pitch is the sinker. So if you're Ethier, you can slice the choices down even more.
Well, he's a good hitter, too. I mean, he's a fastball hitter. Has pretty good eye at the plate, evident of his average at .302. There's that slider you were talking about, but you want that slider not in that area. That went up a little bit high. You want it breaking down toward the back foot of Ethier if you can.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Runner goes, then he stops, and it's outside. I think Theriot was going to go, and he looked like he slipped a little bit.
Yeah, usually the base runners are on their own.
Belisario loosening up in the pen. Joe Torre just making sure. Got somebody behind Padilla.
He's managed a lot of teams. With his only world championships came with the New York Yankees, and 4 of them.
Bob Schaefer's his bench coach, the gentleman with the glasses. Runner does go. Pitch is taken outside. The throw by Schneider on 1 hop, not in time. Brian was out today. He was working hard with Mick Billmeyer, Phillies bullpen coach and catching instructor, just to work on his tosses to second and to third. Theriot had a great jump on that.
Yeah, well, there's Mick, bullpen coach. He had a good jump, but again, for me, not a strong throw where the ball actually got there, even though, he got a great jump. We'll take a look at this. Well, kind of knew he was getting ready to go. Even though he got it late, though, you want that guy to be able to throw that ball almost to the bag there. You don't want a 1 hop from your catcher there. And Snyder possibly didn't have a good grip on the ball there, or squeezing it a little bit too much.
It's ball 4, and Schneider kind of boxed it. I don't know if he was crossed up or not. And there are 2 on here in the 6th.
I don't know what happened there. It was boxed because he's got those 2 pitches. This was just a fastball, but he's looking for it. Or maybe he's looking for a slider. You can see how he went back down on the inside, and that ball took off. He did a great job in just getting glove on that ball. It's pretty good reaction to stop that ball, because that would have ended up on the backstop, and Terrio would have been on third base.
So nobody out. Runners on first and second.
Looking for a ground ball double play to get out of this mess.
He got the first pitch over. It was a slider. It's 0-1. Give me your assessment, Sarge, of David Herndon as a Rule 5 selection, how he's done this year.
Well, I mean, he's a player. First of all, once you select him and you like his arm, you're going to go on and keep him and sacrifice, and you're just hoping that he's able to come in and do some things like he is right now. There's no question about it. This kid can pitch in the major leagues. Now, whether or not he would have been here the whole year, whether or not it was a Rule 5 or not, I don't know. But the fact is, he's got a good arm. I would keep him, and I like him. I like the way he throws, and obviously needs to tighten up his slider a little bit, and like most pitchers, gain a little bit more command.
Line drive toward right. Brown going back, and he jumps. He can't get it. It's over his head. Terrio hesitated. The throw goes to Valdez. Terrio's trying to score. The throw to the plate is high, and he slides in safely. They had a chance to get him at the plate with a good throw from Valdez.
Yeah, I think it was a little hesitation, too, for me on that, Tom, as that ball was, you're right, a frozen rope. Terrio froze. That's what you're supposed to do. I think if he turns around and fires right away with his arm, I think you got to play at home plate. Throw was off, however. Here's Brown as he goes up, just off the reach. Not even ticking that glove as it goes out there again. That ball hit like a bullet. You see that view, not as close as he gets it in. Now, if he turns and fires now, you see that little hesitation? And he didn't have the right grip on the ball as it kind of bobbled in his hand a little bit.
Well, and both runners move up on the throw to put runners on second and third, and nobody out. Here's Casey Blake. The infield is in with Blake at the plate. And a fastball inside, 1 ball and no strikes. So the Phillies did not get the shutdown inning, but they're hoping to get at least a quieter inning. A good slider for a strike. It's 1-1.
See, that when he's throwing sliders like that, you don't want to give up on an arm like that. You know, and if you're looking around baseball, and especially middle relief, you don't have guys with that good of an arm. Control has been his problem, like a lot of others.
In the air to right center field. Brown on the run into the alleyway, makes the catch. The runners tag. Going from third to home is Ethier. He'll score. Over to third, Loney. A sac fly. It's 9-4 Dodgers. Middle of the order for the Dodgers has done the most damage tonight.
Yeah, and then when you're looking at it too, though, Tom, and he's throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball hard, getting the ball up in the zone, and that means up. I mean belt high. Well, you don't even have to be a good hitter in the major leagues when that ball is belt high. You're going to make some pretty good contact. Infield in.
Jay Gibbons at the plate. He's 2 for 3. th pitch coming in this inning.
See, that's a good pitch. That's that ball there. It's backdoor, but it's down is the point that I'm making. Very difficult for the hitter to hit that particular pitch.
That one's not difficult to hit. Jay Gibbons has just hit his first home run in a Dodgers uniform. It's a 2-run shot, and all of a sudden, it's a 7-run lead for Los Angeles.
Wow.
First home run for Jay Gibbons since 2007.
Now you got to think, though, the kids that are playing in that independent league, Jay doing this, think, wow, we got a chance to get here. That's a fastball that didn't get in. He wanted it to get in after a backdoor slider that he threw. Take a look at this. Now he got his hands through almost as if he knew it was coming, looking for that pitch, and turned on it.
Jamie Carroll takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Gibbons has 3 hits tonight and 3 RBIs.
Well, making a point, hey, I want to be back in the major leagues. Not only that, I want to stay.
And I want to play.
Well, you hit like that, they'll find a place for you to play.
Over to third, 1 hop to Polanco. Carroll hustling, and he's thrown out. A lot of crooked numbers tonight by the Dodgers. 2 4-run innings, 2-run inning.
Yeah, they just, when you start battling back as a team and then that opposition scores 4, it kind of puts you on the ropes a little bit, if you will.
14 hits.
No, they've been pretty hard hits too, Tom. I mean, they've been solid hits. No, not like they're jam shots here or there. Yeah, it's maybe been a couple of them, but for the most part, it's been some loud sounds. Well, you can almost tell by the fans on what's going on at this ballpark.
Absolutely. Yeah, because they were starting to feel it a little bit when the Phillies made it a 3-run game.
Oh, they get loud.
Oh,
you know, they get excited here. All you need to do is give them a reason.
Over towards shortstop. It stayed down on it. Or stayed down on Jimmy, and he bobbles it for his 2nd error of the night. And that is not something that you see often. A 2-error game for Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah, the first error that he ended up getting, that one, I mean, could have happened to anyone. And this is a play that he just absolutely just booted. He didn't, came in on it. He had it. Looked like he kind of fumbled with it just a little bit. As it did come up on him. Here it is again. Now he gets down on it. He looks it right there in the glove. But you see, came up on the hill and wasn't able to find the handle.
Well, Reed Johnson's going to pitch hit from Vicente Padilla with 2 outs here in the 6th. And he pops it up. Right side, shallow right field. Wilson Valdez calls everybody off. He's under it, makes the catch, and the side is finally retired. But the Dodgers scored 4 runs in the inning on 3 hits. There was 1 error. We head to the bottom of the 6th. That's 11-4 Los Angeles. Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF now. And buy Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Now some changes for the Dodgers. Scott Podsednik moves from center field over to left field as we go to the bottom of the sixth. Reed Johnson, who just pinch hit for Vicente Padilla, stays in the game, and he'll be in center. And Ronald Belisario making his 36th appearance of the season. Belisario was just activated from the inactive list and added to the Dodgers roster. This is a guy who has been a pretty good reliever the last couple of years for Los Angeles. Technically, he was added from the restricted list. He had some anxiety issues that he had been dealing with this year, and met with the media earlier today and said he wasn't going to talk about anything, that caused him to be placed on the restricted list. Joe Torre wasting no time to put him in the ball game here for Vicente Padilla, who, I have to admit, Sarge, I'm a little surprised that Padilla's been lifted as we begin the sixth. When the Dodgers were able to tack on some more runs, I thought maybe he would come back out and pitch another inning or two, depending on how effective he was.
He was gassed.
You think so?
He was done for me. And he's out there sweating and not making the pitches that he was making before. A lot more balls were starting to get hit harder. Tony La Russa does that a lot. He'll take a pitcher out even before he gets into trouble. After he goes on how the guys are hitting against him, whether or not he's hitting them hard, and he'll take that guy right on out of the ball game.
Jason Worth pulls it foul.
Some managers will let him go back out and get into a little trouble, or see if they're going to get into trouble.
Well, I guess that's what I was expecting, and I'm not sure, what philosophy's right, what one's wrong. Joe Torre's won 4 world championships, and he has a better idea than most of us on what to do.
It has to do with the individual. It's simple as that. The manager, and also and you're right, he's seen his pitchers pitch, so he knows whether or not maybe he can go out there again.
Waiting on is the shortstop, J.B. Carroll, and Jason Worth is thrown out. 1 away. Belisario took the roster spot of Ramon Troncoso, who was optioned out to AAA. Belisario and Troncoso were a pretty good 1-2 punch for the Dodgers last year, kind of setting up for Jonathan Broxton. Then you throw Hong-Chi Kuo into the mix, and the Dodgers had a pretty good bullpen last year. George Sherrill was a great pickup last season for Baltimore. In the air to right field. It's deep. Does Dominic Brown have his first major league home run? He does! Solo home run for Dominic Brown. And it's an 11-5 ball game. Check off another one.
Oh, boy. This kid's going to be pretty exciting. 5'2" player that you're looking at, and that's just one of many that you're going to see in this Philly uniform. Take a look at this as he hits this slide piece. Didn't have to run. Hitting against that front foot again. Head down on the ball. Classic swing. And that's what you're going to get. That ball gets out of the ballpark in a hurry.
Well, on a night where the Phillies have not been able to stop the Dodgers from scoring, a little milestone for Dominic Brown, and the first of what we expect to be many from the Phillies right fielder.
Yeah, that would be one that you would want to keep if you possibly can get that one back.
And Francisco's pitch hitting for the Phillies here in the bottom of the sixth. And he chops it over toward third. Easy hop for Blake. And there are 2 away. I would agree with you, Sarge. You keep that first base hit. If you can get that first home run ball.
Well, it was smoked. Just right kind of almost into his swing, and Now the word's going to get out, too, on this kid there. And he's going to start hitting some balls, fastballs that are going to get out of here. And once that starts to happen, he'll have them right where he wants them as he's hugging everybody. Take a look at this. And he has his bat high like your Scrimpsey used to do, but he gets it in the zone. And that's a see you later. See how he's just kind of taking a look at it and backing it down a little bit.
Well, he hit enough in the minor leagues to know when he hit it well, even if it's here in the big leagues.
I would have to think so. It's going to get stronger. And smarter.
0-1 the count to Wilson Valdez. And Wilson bunted the ball, and it hit him in the box, according to the home plate umpire, Mike Riley. Brad Ausmus is saying, hey, get some help. If that ball hit Wilson when he was out of the box in fair territory, he would be out.
Here, take a look at this. Another little slider. You can see him still there in the box, and it hits him, still in the box. That will get your attention right away on any hitter. That's what you call here a little bow tie, as Larry Anderson would say. Sometimes pitchers get a little upset when you get ready to bunt on them, and that could be a message as he goes right back outside. See, he has good control. So, for me, he knows what he's doing. I'd be on the top step kind of screaming, but I'm glad I'm not down there anymore. I just don't like to see balls up near the head area. You know, you want to come inside, that's fine and dandy. You know, getting hit down on the bottom, but up at the head, that's a no-no.
It's interesting when he came inside like that after bunting, and you know it's an 11-5 game. There's still plenty of time, so this is still a ball game. But I wondered if there was any kind of intent.
Well, I mean, I can only go on what I'm seeing. Pitchers don't like you bunting, and I know that in this situation. He came up and in like, hey, bunt this one. And then we talked with Nolan Ryan about that to start the game. He would kind of walk right out there and tell the guy, hey, no bunting tonight. And get back up on the hill. And if you bunt it, you better make sure that one was fair, because the next one, he would make sure it would be right in your ribs.
All right, but you as a competitive guy, I mean.
I'm not bunting him. No.
Come on, wouldn't you just do it just to tick him off a little bit?
Absolutely not.
Grounder to shortstop, J.B. Carroll plays it over to first, and Valdez is retired. So is the side here in the sixth. Dominic Brown, though, with his first major league home run. That had to feel good, despite the fact that the Phillies trail it by 6.
haven't had a game like this for a while. Phillies pitching kind of getting rocked around here tonight, and they got back in it on Ross Glode's home run, but then another 4-spot went up for the Dodgers, and they have a 6-run lead twice tonight. They have had a 7-run lead. How about the night for Jay Gibbons, who hadn't played in a year? And Dominic Brown, you just said, Tommy's first major league home run, and if he isn't a low ball hitter, I've never seen one.
That was a beautiful swing. You know, he just missed on that sac fly, too. As we were talking about on the air, he had some topspin on it, but you know, he just missed even in putting that one in the seats. That would have been a grand slam.
Yeah, you can see the things he can do, and you can see some of the things he has to work on, and obviously his defense is one of them.
Swing and bunt. Danny Baez off the mound, and Baez facing his first batter of the night. Retires Scott Posednik, 1 away. See Baez's numbers. 42nd game, a 5.21 ERA. And here's Ryan Theriot.
Those would be the things that obviously all these big league scouts that are here, you know, seeing guys will write down on Brown that he really likes the ball down. And, you know, he'll get his pitches down, but they're also going to test him up and in, see some other things with him, see how he handles it, whether he stays off it, whether he get to the count, you know, where the guy may make a mistake. I think he's an impressive low ball hitter.
Yeah, I think up and in is the key, because they're going to see where those hands are and think that they can tie him up.
And up and in is always a pitch that you're going to try on a guy like him, and of course he has to try and stay off it.
That one's off the glove of Polanco, and it's going to be an infield hit for Theriot. He would have had a hard time throwing Theriot out.
Yeah, he wasn't going to throw him out. Jimmy's had a tough game out there tonight, but getting booed a little bit right there, but he wasn't going to throw him out.
Well, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizen 7. They will receive a prize pack, compliments of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. With 1 away, here's Andre Ethier, and what a night Ethier's had. 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 3 hits. Hits that one hard right past Jimmy into left field. It's a 4-hit night for Ethier.
You just can't shut him down tonight. It's just been the problem, obviously, in this game, that they cannot get the Dodgers out to the point where they can catch up, because the Phillies are swinging the bats a little bit tonight, too. They have 5 runs, which will win a lot of games for you, but not when you're getting thumped like this.
5 runs on 7 hits. You see Ethier's first 4-hit game of the year. By the way, you mentioned Jimmy Rollins having a tough night tonight. He has 2 errors in this game. It's the first time since September of last year that he's committed 2 errors in a ball game. Here's James Loney. Oof. Look at all those runners in scoring position. The Dodgers 8 for 14.
Oh, that's outstanding. You know, when you hear what they've been going through this year, you know this is not the norm for them. They have really struggled.
Phillies hope it's an aberration too.
Well, you hope it is too, because you know the pitching is just falling apart here tonight. And when that happens, you get hit.
Theriot leads off second. Andre Ethier leads off first. 2-1 the count to Loney. And a swing and a foul ball. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers come into this ball game 7 games back in the National League West behind the Padres. Padres and the Giants have basically been jockeying for the top spot, with the Padres hanging on for most of this year. Dodgers were there early. The Rockies have, kind of sniffed out the top spot a little bit.
Well, when you talk to the Dodgers people, they'll tell you that they really feel the Giants and Padres are for real. That they're going to have a tough time catching that. because of the fact that they got all those teams in front of them,
and they can pitch,
and they can really pitch, and they score enough, and they play in those huge ballparks, and they're tailored for them, and the Padres did add a little offense.
Ryan Ludwig was a great acquisition. So was Miguel Tejada for what he can give them the second half of the year.
Yeah, they're guys that can, even in that ballpark, can pop one once in a while. So they improve that way, and their bullpen is just tremendous, and their starters are good.
Well, at the beginning of the year, I think a lot of people thought that the wild card would come out of the East. At least I did, and maybe the Central, but certainly not the West.
And now,
who knows? Back toward the middle. Baez has it. Could be two. There's Jimmy, who had to take the errant throw and then apply the tag. So they get one. They could have had two.
Yep.
Good job by Jimmy Rollins to come off the bag to make that play.
It's a dead double play ball there, and they don't make it and give him another out. So, yeah, it's the way it's gone here tonight. You just haven't played. Talking to Charlie before the game about what clean games they've been playing. Look, he's hurting again, too.
Well, that foot's been bothering him. That foot, not the calf, but the foot.
I don't know that it helped him when he tripped over that bag either. He might have turned his ankle or something early in the game when that bunt by Padilla. Right here makes kind of a funny move right there, and then has to twist back. Time of the year, boy, a lot of guys are going to play banged up, and they hope they keep them in there.
Casey Blake takes a fastball a little low.
The guy coaching third base played with a broken leg in one game. Played a few innings. Larry Baugh.
Did he know it?
Nope. He just thought it was hurt.
Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball by Baez. It's 1-2.
Baez is one of those guys that I just really would love to somehow get him to the point where he's effective, because he could fill a role back at, in the 6th, 7th inning that is really important as the season goes along.
It's even 2-2. Well, obviously the command has been the big issue for Baez as the Toyota Major League Scoreboard. Jose Reyes with a sac fly has given the Mets a 1-0 lead over Ubaldo Jimenez and the Rockies. It's a heck of a pitcher still between Pelfrey and Ubaldo Jimenez.
Pelfrey's really been struggling. He's having a good game tonight. We're going to see him on Sunday.
Wheels, how do you get Baez straightened out, you think? I mean,
I don't know, because mechanically, he's kind of wild. He watches mechanics, he's violent. And I don't know how he can repeat with that delivery.
3-2 the count with 2 outs. The runner will be off from first. And he fouls it back.
So one of the main things about pitching, Tommy, is repeating.
Absolutely.
Your delivery. And, when your delivery is a little violent like that and you get out of whack, it's hard to repeat, I would think.
That's why there's so many guys over the course of baseball history, when they've had success, like Juan Marichal, with how odd his delivery was, or even Louis Tion, he would twist around and show his number to the hitter. To repeat that, it's pretty impressive. Pop up, foul territory. Glode on the run, out toward the stands, and he runs out of room.
Yeah, that's why Danny's, why they really want to have him help them. Now watch, that there's a lot going on in that delivery. Look how far that arm goes back. He'll open up sometimes, other times he rocks backwards. It's just not real consistent, and he has such good stuff that if he could ever repeat, and trust him, he could really help you.
Runner goes again from first, and ball 4. The bases are loaded. Now tonight on Sports Night, get highlights and a recap of this ball game. Plus, the Sixers' 2010 schedule is released, and D. Lynam is with Andre Iguodala and the USA basketball team as they work out in New York. Plus, the latest news from Lehigh as the Birds continue training camp. That's all tonight after the ball game on Toyota Sports Night, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Matt Kemp will pinch hit for the Dodgers. Kemp is normally the everyday center fielder for Los Angeles as he takes one for a strike. But you know, you look at his numbers, he has 18 home runs and 61 runs batted in, but he's 1 for his last 20. And they say, you know, talking to Bob Schaefer and, you know, Larry Boa, they say he's really struggling.
And not playing the outfield very well either,
which has been a staple for him since he's come up to the big leagues. He's a very good center fielder.
He's a very gifted athlete.
Joe Torre and Don Mattingly, they're trying to get him straightened out. That one's toward right center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Brown plays it on a hop. 2 runs are going to score. The throw loops over to third. And it's now 13-5 Dodgers. And Kemp with a pinch hit 2-run single.
And you don't make the double play in this inning, and you know, it cost them 2 runs. They had a dead double play ball right in front of them and didn't make it. So that's 2 more runs. And in this kind of game, you know, you're in trouble anyway. But when you do that in a close game, that could really be a problem. He fights this off, does Kemp. A good fastball came running in on him, and he just blooped it into the outfield. That'll feel good for Kemp with that bad stretch that Tom was talking about.
How about that spot in the order tonight? He and Jay Gibbons have combined for 5 RBIs and now 4 hits, excuse me, as Jamie Carroll takes one for a strike, and it's 0-1. Or excuse me, took it outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. One of those nights.
Yep.
Joe Torre just told Andre Ether he was going to sit out the rest of the game.
See you tomorrow. Phillies can't make a lot of changes. They don't have a 4-man bench, and they've used 2 of them. 3 of them. 2 of them. Still have Dobbs and Sweeney.
Ground ball to third. Backing up on a Polanco. He'll go to second. The side is retired, but the Dodgers tack on 2 more on a 2-run single by Matt Kemp. We stretch here at Citizens Bank Park with the Dodgers up by 8. I wasn't sure if you would get Dazzy Vance because of the era. Dazzy Vance threw a no-hitter against the Phils in 1925. So you did get 3 of the 4, so that's pretty good.
Thanks.
And you also worked Bobby Wine into a story, too, which, you know.
And then I looked down, and his daughter Beth is sitting in the front row right below us. She's at the game tonight.
It's all working out for the Wine-O family.
The Wines are all over the place, huh?
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. Well, here's Carlos Monasterios, the new pitcher for the Dodgers, and he's former Phil. The Dodgers picked him up in the Rule 5 draft from the Phillies, and he's been with them all year. And his first pitch is at the knees to Schneider for a strike. Phillies have allowed 13 runs tonight. That ties the season high. The Twins scored 13 on June 19th. 13 runs for the Dodgers, 1 less than their season high. But it's been since July 3rd that they last scored 13 runs in a game. They scored 14 against Arizona that night.
Talk about Sal Magna. He was mean. So they called him the barber, of course, because he buzzed guys so much. And Whitey always told that story. You know, Whitey told great stories, you know, whether they're true or not. But they always sounded so good. And he said one time he was in the on-deck circle, and he started inching up a little bit when Sal Magna was warming up, and he threw it at him in the on-deck circle. He said he buzzed his tower.
So that wouldn't surprise me.
No, it didn't surprise me either.
Breaking ball, and Schneider's down on strikes for the first out.
And you heard about Magna, the way he was.
And that era, too.
Oh, yeah.
Or before.
Whitey said, I didn't do that again.
Because if you even look now, we've seen Jamie Boyer, not that he threw the way Sal Magna threw. But Jamie, if a guy's inching too close to the plate and trying to time him, he'll say something to the umpire.
Yeah, you know, you can understand when they want to get a little bit closer when the guy's warming up. But, you know, I said to Whitey, I said, you didn't know what Magna threw back then? He said, yeah, but I just wanted to see how hard he was throwing that day. They saw enough of Magna in those days.
Jimmy chops it foul past James Loney. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jimmy, who is 1 for 3.
Well, the Dodgers do have a great history. You know, when you consider the 50 pennant they won on the final day of the season, Dick Sisler's homer, and Richie throwing Abrams out at the plate, and Robin Roberts pitching a complete game. You know, and then we talked about the stuff in the 70s, 80s, and the last couple of years with the Dodgers.
The thing about the last 2 years against the Dodgers is, you know, some of the finishes. I mean, not even the games themselves, you know, the heart of the game, but the last 3 innings or more of those games as Loney makes a spectacular glove side play to retire J-Roll, and there are 2 outs. I mean, you look at the last couple of years, there's been some big time hits. Stairs, Victorino, Jimmy. Last year against Broxton.
There you go with the Phillies and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And as I said, the Phillies got a little catching up to do after 77 and 78. Look at that. Every series a losing team won 1 game.
David Lopes, of course, was on the other side of it for a while.
He was involved.
And despite his loyalties to the Phillies, he still says he was safe.
He and Bo are funny when they start on each other on that. Because Bo gets a little emotional, and Dave, you know, Davey is cool and calm as he is like, get over it.
Greg Dobbs is up as a pinch hitter for Placido Polanco.
That was a great story in the Inquirer this morning. Did Frank Fitzpatrick write that? Bob Brooker did not should know. I'm sorry. Anyway, about Roy Campanella. Just a wonderful story about Campy and on his years in Philadelphia and what a great player he was.
Off the hands, a looper to left, and Dobbs has a pinch hit single.
Frank usually writes those research articles about, you know, guys from the past, so I can't remember now, but it was really a neat story if people hadn't had a chance to read it.
Well, take a listen and enjoy, folks.
Here's Davey Lopes, game on the line. Ground ball off Schmidt to Boa. A throw. Yes. No. Not in time. This game is tied. To Larry Boa. What a recovery by Boa. We have an argument, believable circumstance. I don't know. I don't know. You call it. You call it.
I think Harry's eyes were correct.
He was right the first time.
I think he was right.
Everybody that saw it knew what happened, except the guy that counted.
Dobbs smokes one into the alleyway, right center field, and it's gone! 2-run home run for Ross Glode. Excuse me. His second 2-run home run of the night. It's 13-7 Dodgers.
The way the ball was jumped now this place in batting practice, and it is a hitter's night here. And it feel good for Greg Dobbs to get that little blue pip because he's been struggling so much. And Ross Glode, he's just a good hitter, and he crushes this.
Two-run home runs for Ross Glode. He has 4 RBIs.
Monasterio throws a lot of off-speed stuff. That pitch was right down the middle, up a little bit, and took a long ride in a hurry.
Here's Ibanez. Raul, a 16-game hitting streak on the line. 6 home runs now for Glode.
Good hitter, that guy. You know, he's getting some time to play a little bit. You can see what a good hitter he is.
Ibanez hits him hard again at the second baseman. And the side is retired. But another 2-run home run for Ross Glode. His second 2-run home run of the ball game. We go to the 8th. The Phils down 6.
Berry real fruit smoothies. Try a small for just $2.29 only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. We go to the 8th inning. Greg Dobbs with a pinch hit single in the last inning. He'll stay in the game to play third for Placido Polanco. And Jose Contreras is the new pitcher for the Phillies. He'll take over for Danny Baez. Baez allowed 2 runs in the 7th. Well, this is a 6-run game. Phillies have 2 more opportunities against LA.
Except they have Quo out there.
They have Hong-Chi Quo
and Broxton. And that'll be tough because Quo right now could be as what a job Ross has done tonight. Quo may right now be as unhittable as any relief pitcher in baseball. He's given up 2 hits to left-handed hitters. One's a dribbler in the infield, they said. Another one's a C&I single.
He's reached another level.
Oh. He's just lights out when he comes out. I've seen him on television a bunch of times, and he's scary how good he is right now. But somebody's going to get him sooner or later. That's the nature of this business.
Brad Ausmus leads it off against Contreras. Dodgers have 13 runs on 17 hits.
Yeah, they're getting a chance to work some guys in tonight that they normally wouldn't use. Getting them some time. Belisario coming back here for that long layoff, and Monasterio's getting into a game.
There's ball 4 to Ausmus. Well, part of that is because of the game, but also because of all the injuries the Dodgers have had too. And the Astros are locked in a pretty good ball game against the Braves right now. They'll be in town Monday, August 23rd to start a 4-game series. It wraps up on Thursday the 26th at 1:05. It's a Model Sporting Goods Kids Run the Bases. The last games in August. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Here's Reed Johnson, who's 0 for 1. And Johnson takes a strike. First one of the inning for Contreras. And on the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Braves have scored a run against Jay Happ on an RBI single by Troy Gloss. Jair Jurgens pitching in that game for the Braves.
And they have 2 on and 1 out still to do the Atlanta Braves.
Braves are playing that game without Jason Hayward, who was scratched because of a sore right knee. And Chipper Jones left the game in the 7th with a bum knee. No balls, 2 strikes the count to Johnson. He got that off the end of the bat. There's a pop-up straight back and just to our left. Well, maybe there was a chance that ball was coming up here. But that gentleman has the ball. And he almost had it.
That's that season ticket holder. That guy's been here forever. Bobby Cox may be out of the game, but that guy will always look like him. I told him that before. I said, you look just like Bobby Cox.
Hot shot right past Larry Boa. And it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Contreras has been unhappy with a few pitches from Mike Riley, coupled to Ausmus, that one there. And it's 1-2.
He's seen a lot of pitches tonight.
Swing and a miss. He got it. 1 away here in the 8th. And that'll bring Pasednik to the plate. It is amazing. You look at the Dodgers. I mean, the Phillies have gone through their trials and tribulations with all of the injuries that they sustained this year. Joe Torre's team is without Rafael Furcal, who's got a bad back. Without Manny Ramirez, who even if they had Manny, he's not the same player. He's just not. And Russell Martin's out with a hip injury that, amazingly, they thought could be the same injury that Bo Jackson sustained. Remember when Bo Jackson hurt his hip playing football? Yeah. It's not, so he'll make a full recovery. But they thought, you know, for some time that it could have been the same injury.
It could be the career ender.
Right. But he's most likely out for the year.
Yeah, you know, they're well aware of the fact that there are going to be an awful lot of things have to fall into place for them to get back to postseason this year, especially in that division they're playing.
Well, and they are strapped because of the off the field issues that the Dodgers have to deal with, the divorce proceedings of the owners. Roller toward first. Glode's got it. There's one. Can Contreras get there? He does, but the throw is not in time. As Pasednik runs well. 2 outs. Two outs for Ryan Theriot. With all that said, the Dodgers did make a couple pretty good deals at the trade deadline, getting Theriot and Lilly and getting Octavio Dotel for the bullpen. They probably made the best deals last year at the deadline because they were able to pick up guys that they didn't have to pay. Or 2 years ago, guys they didn't have to pay. Casey Blake, Manny Ramirez, people like that.
Yeah, they sure help get to postseason.
0-2 the count. Sednick leads off first. On the outside corner, called strike 3. Terrio goes down looking. Couple strikeouts in the inning for Jose Contreras. No runs, no hits, one man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Phils have 6 outs to get something rolling. How the wild card is going to play out, or if the Giants will be atop the wild card at that point. All 3 games are at 7:05. Get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Last of the 8th, Jason Worth leads it off. Jason's 1 for 2. He has singled, he's walked, he's grounded to shortstop. Phillies have 6 outs to get something going and get back in this game. 6 runs is not a deficit, not a difficult deficit to overcome some nights, but you're getting later and later in this ball game. They charged back earlier and made it a 3-run game, but then the Dodgers scored 4 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th. Swing and a miss, 1 away. Monasterio gets his 2nd strikeout.
There's Dominic Brown's first major league home run, and it's down this pitch. Oh, no, excuse me. I thought we were going to show the home run. It's just Jason Worth striking out on a high fastball.
And that was up.
That was up. And Dominic Brown hit a low, I think it was a slider. I don't know. You guys probably had a replay on it. It looked like a low breaking ball. And bam.
All I know is that at bat before, when he had the sac fly, I thought he just missed hitting a home run.
We did. Yeah. He crushed that thing. He just didn't get any lift on it.
Up high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brown.
He had a good at bat too that time off Padilla. He went 3-0, then 3-1, then 3-2, and then smoked it.
Dodgers have Octavio Dotel warming up behind Monasterio.
I know what Don Mattingly's thinking over there right now. You know, Mattingly was such a great left-handed hitter. There's Dotel. You know, watching a young player like this and, you know, sizing him up.
I think it's human nature for a guy like, let's say, Don Mattingly, or maybe if Charlie Manuel was looking at Jason Hayward or Mike Stanton, to have a feel or to have an opinion about what they see from the dugout.
And Mattingly is their hitting coach, of course, and was a very, very good hitter for the Yankees. And, you know, just had to leave the game early with when he had back problems.
Back problems, yeah.
He never got in on the party with the Yankees.
6-time All-Star, 9-time Gold Glove winner. Brown skies it left field. Setnik over toward the line. And there are 2 away. And here's our W. Mason delivery of the ball game. Why not? A little milestone for Dominic Brown.
I knew we were going to see that. I think that's a slider. Looked like it came back over the outside corner towards the middle of the plate, and that took a quick ride out of here. W.B. Mason delivery of the game. Dominic Brown's first major league home run. I'm sure they were out there bartering for that baseball.
I was thinking the same thing. Mike Sweeney will be the pinch hitter for the Phillies. So the Phillies have used their entire bench tonight.
Talking about Bob Schaefer, such a great guy and a coach for the Dodgers. He had Sweeney in Kansas City for a long time. He was raving about him tonight, about how good he is in the clubhouse, and you know that he should really help the Phillies.
He's 2 for 9 so far. His 2 hits, though, they were big hits. Part of a comeback against the Mets. Gets that one back through the middle, off the foot of Monasterio. And he's going to be safe at first.
I'm watching him run. You know, he's not a fast runner, but boy, he tries.
Yeah, there's effort.
He really does. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff flying when he goes down that line. There he goes, and Monasterio tries a kick save there, and he didn't kick. No, look. I mean, he is busting it. He gets himself in it. Legger.
Well, he knows that ball's deflected. He's thinking, all right,
sure.
The third baseman comes over and fields it. There's a chance I'm thrown out.
This guy's a baseball player. You can tell. I mean, he's not going to take any chances that he's going to lose that hit there. Get on, you never know.
Wilson Valdez has a hit tonight, 3 at bats. Scored a run back in the 5th. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Mets have hung on and defeated the Rockies 1-0. Mike Pelfrey the win. D'Angelo Jimenez the loss, just his 3rd of the year. He's 17-3.
And another one of those losses right here in this ballpark. The Phillies got him that Saturday afternoon.
Opposite way, base hit for Valdez. That's his 2nd hit of the night. Runners on 1st and 2nd.
George Sherrill up in the bullpen, left-hander, who has really had a tough year.
It was a good pickup last year from the Orioles. Joe Torre's coming out. That's probably going to be it for Monasterio.
Yeah,
he's probably going to bring Sherrill into the game.
He's not going to take any chance here, Tom, that Schneider pops one and makes it a 3-run game.
Sherrill hasn't been loosening up all that long either. Not signal to the pen just yet. He just took the baseball, so that's the signal that we were looking for. So the lefty's coming in to face the left-hander Brian Schneider. We've got a pitching change with 2 outs here at the bottom of the 8th. Sherrill, the left-hander, is on for the Dodgers. 45th game for Sherrill. 1-2, a 6.58 earned run average. See what righties are hitting against Sherrill. Lefties are only hitting a .178 against him. Oh, it's a lefty that's up. It's Brian Schneider. A lot of base runners for Sherrill this year. 35 hits. The Phillies have runners on first and second. Sweeney's on second. Valdez at first, and a breaking ball over for a strike. It's 0-1. Brian came on as part of a double switch earlier. This is his third at bat. He's popped to right, and he has struck out. In the air to center field. That's pretty well hit, but it's playable. Reed Johnson, the center fielder, is over, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Sweeney comes on to get the lefty Brian Schneider. We go to the ninth in a 6-run game. By 28 hits between the two teams. As we go to the top of the ninth, J.C. Romero is the new pitcher for the Phillies. 40th game for J.C. A 3.70 earned run average. And he will face Andre Ethier, James Loney, and Casey Blake. Andre Ethier, who we had out of the ball game earlier. We saw Joe Torre go over and say something to him, and Ethier had this surprised look on his face. Matt Kemp had just pitch hit. And we're thinking, he's done. I mean, the man's had a 4-hit night. He scored 3 runs. He's driven in a couple. Driven in 3. Let him take a breather.
Well, Joe's going to give him a chance for a 5-hit game.
3 singles, a double, 3 runs scored, a walk. It's a perfect on-base percentage night for Andre Ethier. Ball got him. So now add a hit by pitch. Man's an on-base percentage machine. So a base runner, and there have been a lot of them tonight.
And you go to the first pitch to Ethier's had a big night.
Hit him right on the knee.
The Dodgers are not happy about what you just saw there. Don't forget what happened with Valdez earlier, when he tried to bunt, and they buzzed his tower after that. I don't know. Sometimes you just throw it out there.
Well, Sarge certainly felt like they were throwing at Valdez intentionally.
Oh, there's no doubt that Belisario did.
1-0 the count to Loney. Off the outside corner. 2-0. There's Ethier. He's limping a little bit off that first base bag. Casey Blake is the on-deck hitter. You figure Chad Durbin's going to come on for Blake.
Well, a few games we have here in this ballpark where there aren't a lot of people here at the end.
Nope.
It doesn't happen that often.
No, this place was packed too at the start of the game.
And the games are, the type where the crowd really feels there's a good chance to come back in it. Or the Phillies have a little lead, nice lead. They want to see the end of it. And I'm out there shaking hands at the end tonight. A lot of people did an early adios.
And some are just along for the ride.
And some have moved down into seats maybe they don't normally have a chance to sit in.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it. He may have swung a ball forward, but J.C. Romero will take it. 1 away. Did you ever do that as a kid, Wheels? Slide down at the ballpark?
Oh, yeah. Kind of Max Stadium, you bet.
The pitch kept diving in. Here's Casey Blake with 1 out.
I think to sit in the upper deck at Connie Mack Stadium. It's kind of hung over a little bit, and either first or third base side really didn't matter. Boy, that was a great view. Wasn't a real high upper deck.
I kind of think if you go to Wrigley Field, it's the same kind of view.
Exactly, it's that kind of feeling.
Wrigley Field, because it's so old, but I like the upper deck or the second deck even better than the lower deck.
Well, they had 2 color seats up there. One was, I want to say, red, and the other was pink, and they separated the upper deck.
Now, was the pink faded red? Or was it
no,
just
it was
pink?
painted. No, they were 2 separate colors. That place wasn't real stylish. It was basic, but it was pretty in its own way because the field was so beautiful. When you're a little kid and you walked in, it must be like kids walking in here now and seeing this gorgeous place with the grass and all. Boy, when you walked into that place, and you used to have to come through those little tunnels like you do at Wrigley and Fenway now, so you didn't see it like you see it here when you come in. You would come up, you'd see a little daylight, and then, wow, there it was.
That's old Yankee Stadium used to be, too.
There you go. And it was just, I'll never forget it, how exciting that was.
2-2 the count to Casey Blake. In the dirt, 3-2. The other thing, too, is you probably, until the later years of the ballpark, you probably didn't see it in color until you were there.
Right. That's a great point. That's true. It was black and white on television. You would walk in, all this color was there. But, boy, that's bigger than my lawn. When you're a kid, you think your lawn's the biggest one ever.
Down the right field line. Dominic Brown on the run. Glode's there too. Brown is over. And he can't get there. And it remains 3-2. Dominic kind of ran out of room as he was going into foul territory.
It was too late to slide, too. That was one of those ones that the best thing to do, just peel off.
Stretching his leg out a little bit.
See Sherrill down there in the on-deck circle. He's going to stay in the game.
Dominic Brown looks like he's holding his quad.
Yeah, I saw that. Tried not to.
Line drive to left. That's pretty well hit. And that one is right over the flower bed. It's a home run for Casey Blake. It's 15-7. That was a bullet.
Oh, man.
12th home run of the year for Blake. He has 4 RBIs tonight, 46 on the season.
A lot of runs for the Dodgers. They've been trouble scoring. There you go. Last time the Phillies 15-plus runs with 2 of these guys on August 22nd of 07.
It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah, this is just one of those nights.
15 runs on 18 hits.
Just can't wait to get it over and go get them tomorrow.
So Sherrill bats here. First at bat of the year. And he is just up there. He's just standing up there. Not only are they crooked numbers,
lots of them.
2 4 spots, and yeah, a lot of them.
Most runs in a game prior to tonight, as you mentioned, was against Minnesota. 13. Actually got this back to 3 at one point.
Oh, it was a game.
Yeah. After trailing 7-0, got it back to 7-4.
And there was juice too in the ballpark.
Yeah.
You know, the ballpark had a little buzz to it.
One of those nights the staff, they just can't hold him.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Braves and the Astros are now tied at 1. Jeff Kepinger's fielder's choice tied it in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, they're still after him too. They have 2 on and 1 out.
Boy, George Sherrill just worked out a walk. He was just standing up there,
right. You said,
waiting to be struck out.
He wasn't going to swing. And, you know, this is Charlie don't want to do this, but you know, really don't have any choice.
That's going to be it for J.C. Romero. His night is done. As Charlie takes the baseball from his left-hander, Chad Durbin's going to be brought on to try to get the final 2 outs here at the top of the 9th. George Sherrill, who did not have a major league at bat before his walk a few moments ago. Chad Durbin is on to try to finish off the 9th. 41st game for Durbin. He's 3-1, a 3.28 ERA, and he will face Jamie Carroll. George Sherrill was just, you know, he was just standing up there. He wasn't even close to the plate.
Looked like a spring training game where they just send them up there, with, you know, and say, "Don't not swing."
Don't get yourself hurt.
Right.
And Durbin delivers a strike to Carroll. Carroll tonight is hitless in 4 at-bats. He did walk back in the 2nd. Jimmy Carroll has 242 ABs this year. I think that's more than the Dodgers anticipated for him.
Yeah, he's supposed to be an extra man.
And it's now 2-1. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, some good news from Houston. Carlos Lee followed Jeff Kepinger's fielder's choice with one of his own. And the Astros lead it 2-1. Jay Happ started that ball game for the Astros. Charlie's team came into this game a game and a half out in the National League East. And they're hoping to remain a game and a half out. Swing and a miss. And there's the 2nd out. Happ tonight, 6 1/3, 1 earned run and 2 hits. Well, some more good news on a night where Phillies haven't had a whole lot of good news. The Cubs lead the Giants 2-0. Now, last night the Cubs led the Giants 2-0. And the Giants wound up winning that game in extra innings.
I don't know who that guy was wearing Zambrano's uniform last night. That was not pretty to watch. His velocity was, he was all over the place. Granted, he hadn't pitched for a while, but wow, he looks like he's.
How does it happen that fast?
Boy, he's locked in for a while. Big money.
I think there's a couple more years left in that deal.
No, who knows? Maybe it gets better as he goes along. But last night, watching that last night, they had to think, oh my.
It is amazing, though, how stuff like that does happen. Ausmus stays alive. It remains 0-2. 4-0 now. Boy, we keep playing here in the top of the ninth. Could continue to have good news around the Toyota Major League scoreboard for the Phillies.
Yeah, Lincecum? 55.
That is Lincecum.
About that.
Dempster against Lincecum tonight out in San Francisco.
4 spot off Lincecum.
Swing and a miss. Ausmus is down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Durbin, so he comes in to clean up the top of the ninth. The Dodgers do score 2 more. They get a home run by Casey Blake. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Phils, 1 more chance. Well, there are going to be nights like this during the course of a baseball season. The Phillies trail at 15-7. They've allowed 15 runs on 18 hits, and there was a point where they were within 3 early on in the ball game. But then the Dodgers just kept on adding runs. As Wheels mentioned before, and Sarge even mentioned it. The Dodgers kept on coming after the Phils pitching. The Phillies couldn't quiet the Dodgers offense tonight. They have 1 more chance here in the bottom of the ninth. They come back from this, there'll be shirts all over the Delaware Valley saying, why not 8 runs? Or 9 if they can go back and win it.
Can't wait to watch that happen. Some nights, it's just one of those things.
Jimmy takes a strike. Rollins tonight 1 for 4. He has singled and scored a run. And he's grounded out 3 times. George Sherrill.
Phillies did throw like an 8 or 9 run night for the Dodgers that night out at Dodger Stadium. One of the funniest things you ever saw where we kept taking shots at Tommy in the dugout, Lasorda.
Well,
what a show.
I'm ready to laugh.
That was really funny. Now, he laughs about it now. It wasn't funny to him that night. John Kruk came off the bench and hit a pinch hit home run. And there were all kinds of things happening in that game. It was either 8 or 9 that got in the ninth.
Jimmy lines one to left field. A base hit to start the ninth.
Of course, in that game, they didn't have Quo and Broxton ready to come and get 3 outs. stuck around.
They have faith. They have faith. Here's Dobbs. Dobbs singled his first time up.
They're getting Dotel up now, so they're still not going to go to Quo and Broxton. They don't even want them throwing tonight if they can avoid it.
Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Octavio Dotel just coming over from Pittsburgh.
Joe Torre doesn't have the same kind of animation as Tommy Lasorda.
No, not quite. And never will. They still show that every once in a while. I've seen highlights of that. And it is just, I mean, he started throwing stuff. Throwing his hands up in the air. It kept getting worse and worse for him.
Little looper to left. Posednik comes in. And that's the first out here in the ninth inning. Well, Tommy Lasorda's not in the house, but Larry Boa is. And if they were to come back, yeah, he would get animated.
Animated?
Well, if we're looking for somebody to play the role of Tommy Lasorda.
We couldn't do any close-ups, that's for sure.
Here's Glode. He has 2 homers tonight. 2 two-run homers. And he takes a breaking ball. Glode in his 13 starts this season has 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. He's hit in 9 consecutive starts. Can't imagine he'll get a fastball. And, you know, if he plays tomorrow, then Roy Oswald's going to be hoping for the same kind of offense. He's scheduled to pitch against Chad Billingsley tomorrow.
I figure Glode will play tomorrow night against the right-hander Billingsley. Then you get Kershaw, the left-hander, on Thursday. Probably be Sweeney.
The only reason I wasn't sure is because Charlie had alluded to last week that Sweeney would play a little bit more, even against right-handers.
Well, he likes having Glode's bat on the bench, to come off and,
exactly.
Get a hit like that. But he's swinging so well that maybe forward bats aren't the worst thing.
Ride the hot hand. Jimmy led off the ninth with a single left. Glode is fighting here.
Here's the 2 home runs for Ross tonight in the 5th inning. That brought the Phillies back to 7-4 as he hit that one off the start of Vicente Padilla. And then the 7th inning of Monasterios, another pitch out over the plate and hit a bullet into the seats in right center field, deep right center.
Rolls it toward the right side. Terrio to second for 1. That's all they'll get. And that's the second out. The Phillies down to their final out in this game. And Raul Ibanez, who has a 16-game hitting streak, on the line with this AB. He's hit the ball hard a couple times tonight. First time up, and his last time up. His 16-game hitting streak is a career high for him. That is a tough breaking ball right there to even offer at. Pop up, foul territory. That'll find the seats. So the Phillies are down to their final strike here in the ninth. I think that Charlie was saying about Ibanez today is what he's liked is not only that he's putting good at bats together, but he loves the fact that he's driving the ball the other way. He's just not trying to pull everything. He's using his power the other way, which is what he did last season. course, the hope is that it carries over.
Liner toward right center field. It's a 17-game hitting streak for Ibanez. 2 on here in the home ninth.
It's a pretty good stretch right there.
It sure is. For a guy that was struggling the way Raul was for so long. I don't think anybody saw a 17-game hitting streak coming. It looked like another breaking ball away, and he just went out and hooked the base hit. And Joe's going to come and bring Dotel in. As much as just find out something about Dotel as anything. He doesn't. Even if you get a 3-run home run, you still have a 5-run lead with 1 out to go. He just wants to see Dotel pitch to Worth and get a little feel for him.
So George Sherrill's evening is complete. He'll give the baseball to Joe Torre. Here comes Octavio Dotel with 2 runners on, 2 outs here at the bottom of the 9th inning. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Brooks Conrad again.
Wow.
For the Braves. He has had some big when he's in the starting lineup, and he has just given the Braves a 3-2 lead at the top of the 9th. When we get back, Octavio Dotel will be the new pitcher. Octavio Dotel is the new pitcher for the Dodgers. 45th game overall. Now, that includes his numbers with the Pirates. 21 saves, 5 blown saves. And he was picked up around the trade deadline by Los Angeles to help shore up the bullpen. Joe Torre has Jonathan Broxton as his closer, but Dotel, he can help out if Broxton can't go, and he can also set up for Broxton.
Yeah, he's a nice pickup for them.
He delivers one outside the strike zone, and it's 1-0 to Jason. Ross Float is on second. Raul Ibanez is on first with 2 away. Off the outside corner, 2-1 to Jason. Jason thought that was a little low, but it's 2-2.
Mike Riley got a lot of pitches to call tonight.
A lot of pitches and a lot of pitchers.
Oh, yeah. It's been a little bit ugly.
11 U's between the 2 teams. Here's the 2-2 to Jason.
Hey, Jason was walking away.
It was. Figured there was a strike the pitch before that. It's going to be a strike again, but he didn't think it was.
So the runners will take off with the count 3-2 and 2 men down here in the bottom of the ninth. Load on second. Ibanez at first. There they go. And he stays alive, so we'll do it again. Ball 4. The bases are loaded for Dominic Brown.
I mean, you can also see why the Dodgers are having such a tough year too. They score 15 runs here tonight, and this is far from a clean game from them.
Yeah, their staff has allowed 13 hits, and now the bases are loaded for Dominic Brown.
Cole Hamels is in the on-deck circle because they're out of extra men.
Yeah, the pitcher spot is due up next. Sounds strange, but Dotel backed off that fastball a little bit. There's Cole. First major league home run tonight for Dominic Brown. 2 RBIs in the game. Same spot. Up a tick with the velocity. Dirt. Osmus keeps it around the plate, and it's 1-2.
What a long night this has been for Osmus too. Back there in this brutal heat tonight. Veteran guy. We see Ellis tomorrow night. It's hot.
Brown stays alive as he fouls that one off his foot. Osmus is going to give him a little extra time and then have a conversation with Dotel. Opposite way, toward the line. It's a fair ball, and it kicks toward the corner. 2 runs are going to score. Worth stops at third. It's a 4 RBI night for Dominic Brown. It's 15-9, and the Phillies are within 6, and some have faith. Pretty good swing.
Well, he's been very. There's Kenny Howell, by the way, who's their bullpen coach. He was a Phillies pitcher for a number of years, and now they get Crow, which they certainly didn't want to do. But yeah, it was a nice thing he got. Tom was away from him, and he went with it. Did a good job. The fastball pitches away a little bit, middle to away, and he just slices it down the line. Fair ball into the corner.
So Hamels pitch hits.
Couple more ribbies.
1-0 the count to Cole. Outside 2-0. He's a couple more hits away from making this really interesting. And they've got work to do. They've scored 2.
field. That should do it. Pasetnik over toward the line. He's under it, and he makes the catch, and the Dodgers have taken game 1 of this 3-game series as they win it by a final score of 15-9. Andre Ethier was just too much for the Phillies to overcome in this ball game. He is the Chevrolet player of the game. He scored 4. He drove in 3. He was 4 for 4 in the ball game for Los Angeles. Now, the Phils made a run at the Dodgers a couple of different times, but they just couldn't slow down Los Angeles' offense early on in this game and even late in this game to make sure that the run would be efficient enough for a victory. They lose at 15-9. We'll be back after these messages.